A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Autolite and its 98,000 dealers present Suspense.
Tonight, Autolite presents a special program for this holiday season. The unusual dramatization of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, starring Miss Greer Garson, who appears by arrangement with MGM, producers of the new color picture Knights of the Round Table, in CinemaScope, starring Robert Taylor, Ava Gardner, and Mel Ferrer.
Good evening. This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for Autolite. Tonight, as a special Christmas presentation from the worldwide Autolite family, we bring you Miss Greer Garson in a story about a certain little girl on a certain Christmas Eve.
And now, Autolite presents transcribed 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, hoping once again to keep you in suspense.
Kathy, honey. Come on, wake up. Wake up, Kathy. It's the day before Christmas. Oh, and there's so much...
Miss Bob, it's light out already. You said you were going to wake me really early today so we could go to the airport and meet them.
Come on, up you get. Let's get you dressed.
Buffy, they're going to be waiting for me and you didn't wake me. I know what, they're home already.
Kathy.
Mommy! Daddy, where are you? Daddy! Mommy? Buffy, they're not in their bedroom. Where are they?
Kathy.
I know. I'll bet they're in the kitchen already having their coffee. Mom! Miss Buff, they're not home.
I know, honey.
The clock in the kitchen said 8:30.
Kathy, here, put this on, dear. You told me you wanted to wear this dress today, so that's why I ironed it for you.
Miss Buff.
Yes, dear?
Why aren't they here?
Oh, they'll be here.
But when I talked to Mommy on the telephone yesterday, she said she would be here at 6 this morning. And I promised her I'd meet her at the airport, her and Daddy.
I know.
And Daddy said he had a surprise he was bringing for me all the way from Paris. It's 8:30, Buffy. Let's go out to the airport now.
Oh, but there's so many things to do. First, you've got to get your breakfast, and we have to finish decorating the tree. And, there's so many things I want you to help me with.
Everything can wait, Buffy. Hurry, I promised to meet them.
No, dear.
Why not, Buff?
Well, I think we'll wait for them here. Kathy?
Yes?
You remember what you promised your Mommy and Dad? That you'd do everything I asked you while they were away.
Yes.
Then, we'll wait for them here. Hmm?
All right, Buffy.
That's okay.
It's noon, Buffy.
I know.
Don't you think they might have called and told us they'd be late?
Oh, I'll go and make our lunch. You must be very hungry.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you didn't eat your breakfast, Kathy.
Miss Buff, I'm not hungry.
Look. Oh, look, it's snowing, honey. We'll have a nice warm lunch, and then we'll go out for a long walk. Hmm?
They should have called.
I tell you what, Kathy. We'll take our walk first. We'll see the shops. We'll visit. We'll go and see Johnny and your aunt and uncle. Maybe if it snows hard enough, we can all build a snowman. Wouldn't you like that?
Yes, that would be fun.
Well, go get your coat and hat and galoshes, dear.
All right. And when we come back, Mommy and Daddy will be home.
Well, you go and get your things now.
Oh, I'll get it, Buffy. Mommy. Oh, who's this, Daddy? You sound... all from a newspaper. I see. It's a man, Buck. He says he wants to talk to an older person. Here.
Hello? Yes, this is the Harper residence. I'm the housekeeper. Well, just a moment, please. Kathy.
Who is it?
Someone wants to talk to me, honey. Will you go get your things?
No. Who are you talking to, Buck?
Never mind, dear. Go and get your things.
No. No, I won't.
Hello? I see. Yes, I saw the papers. Yes, that was the daughter. Yes, the only child. No, she doesn't. No, I wish you wouldn't. Please, don't, here. No.
Who was it?
Oh, he's just a man, honey.
It was from the newspapers. Why? What did he want?
Nothing.
He asked about me, didn't he? Why?
Honestly, honey, it was nothing.
It was about Mommy and Daddy.
Oh, it wasn't anything important.
Well,
Yes, dear?
I don't know.
Look at that snow coming down, Kathy. Get your things, dear. Go on. Beautifully, Kathy.
Very lovely.
The street and all the decorations and the singers.
It's very lovely, Miss Buck.
Honey, here, give this to the man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Missy. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Let's go home now.
In a little while, don't you remember? We were going visiting, too.
Mommy and Daddy are probably home right now waiting for me, wondering where I am.
And we'll build a snowman together, like I said. Come on, honey. I remember when I was a little girl how excited I'd get. All the wonderful things to see, the sights and the smells and the sounds. Pretty shop windows and the snow. To be a little girl at Christmas time. To be young at Christmas time. And happy and...
What's the matter, Buffy?
Oh, Kathy.
Buffy.
Let me hold you. Oh, Kathy, darling.
Buffy, you're crying.
I'm just silly, I guess. Why, look, there's Santa Claus watching us. Let's say hello to him.
You were crying.
Hello, Santa.
Merry Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas, little girl.
Merry Christmas,
Well, you're a pretty little girl. What's your name?
Kathy.
Oh, that's a nice name for a nice little girl like you.
Thank you.
And I can tell you've been a good little girl. I saw the way your mommy was holding you.
She's Miss Buck. My mommy's away. Daddy, too. We're taking a walk to make them come home.
Oh, and where are they?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Kathy, come in, darling. And Miss Buff, how are you? Come in. Mother, guess who's here?
Why, Kathy and Miss Buff.
Hello, Aunt.
Hello, Mrs. Cleveland. Take your things off. We've got a big fire in the living room. And wait till you see our Christmas tree, Kathy.
I'm sure it's very beautiful.
I'll bet Kathy came to see her cousin Johnny, didn't she?
Yes, I did, Uncle Ted. I would like to see him very much.
Do you know what that boy of mine did, Miss Buff?
No.
He found the train.
Oh, he did?
After I took so much trouble to hide them out in the garage, he found them. So, of course, I had to set them up for him. Well, it's the day before Christmas. He's in his room now, Kathy.
Yes, I would like to play with the train.
Of course you would.
Johnny!
I can't come now, Daddy. I'm busy.
Cassie's here.
Hey, come on out and play on my trains, Kathy. You ought to see. I got 'em all hitched up now.
Go on, Kathy.
All right.
I've been on the phone since 7 this morning, Miss Buff, and there just isn't any word at all about the plane.
Look!
A man from the newspaper called the house. I told him to stay away. Did the child know? I think she does. What did you tell her? Nothing. How do you tell a child, Mrs. Strickland?
Look at it go!
What I can't understand is why no word at all. The plane took off from Paris on time, and there was radio contact over Island, from what I could find out. But since then, nothing.
You'd better tell her, John. Tell me what?
Well, there was a storm over the ocean. Pretty bad storm. They said...
Miss Buff,
Yes, darling.
I've just figured out something. It's about Mommy and Daddy.
Kathy.
They're not coming home. They're not ever coming home.
Autolite is bringing you Miss Greer Garson with Anne Whitfield as Kathy in 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Tonight's production in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
This is Harlow Wilcox again with a message from Mr. Royce G. Martin, President and Chairman of the Electric Autolite Company. It is presented in the name of the Autolite family, which includes some 30,000 Autolite men and women and their families, 18,000 people who have invested a portion of their savings in Autolite, as well as 98,000 dealers and the greatest names in the industry who use Autolite products as original equipment. This is the message from Mr. Martin. In our America, we are especially blessed this Christmas with a free country. We are surrounded with freedom-loving people who appreciate the word Christmas. We are grateful for what this day means to all of us and for what it meant to our great forefathers. We will never forget the one whose holy birthday we are about to celebrate. We thank him for the word freedom and the happiness that he has given us. We of the Autolite family wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas and a new year filled with health and happiness.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Miss Greer Garson in Elliot Lewis's production of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
It's going to be good to get inside of the house, Kathy. Oh, look at you. You look almost like the snowman you and Johnny built. Here, let me brush you off a bit before we go inside.
There's a man there.
What'd you say, darling?
Right there, standing by the door. A man.
Hello?
Good evening, miss. Hello, little girl. Is this your house?
Yes, I live here.
Who are you? What do you want?
Oh, then you'd be the Harper's little girl, wouldn't you?
Yes.
I asked you, who are you?
Now, don't worry about it, ma'am. I just want to take a picture of the little girl. You want your picture taken, little girl?
Buffy.
You're the reporter I talked to this morning, aren't you?
And we'll want one of you, too, ma'am.
Here, get in the house, Kathy. Don't stand there, dear. Get in the house. I'll be here in a moment. It's Christmas Eve, Mr. Reporter. Did you know that?
Oh, now, look, ma'am,
It's Christmas Eve. Where's your heart?
Now, look, you've got to understand. I talked to you on the phone. It was almost 10 hours ago, before noon. It's nighttime already. There still isn't any word about the plane. I represent a newspaper, ma'am. We've got to assume... Well, you know, I don't want to say it any more than you do.
Oh, just go away.
Oh, now, really, I've got it.
Were you ever lonely on Christmas Eve? Alone in a house that's empty? While outside other people were singing. When there was warmth and love and joy. But outside...
I'm just trying to do my...
Christmas Eve. The snow is falling. Christmas Eve. And a child is grieving.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Good night.
In the living room, Buffy.
Oh, Thought.
Yes?
Let's have a secret.
What, Buffy?
Let's not wait till tomorrow.
What do you mean?
We go to our tree and open some of our presents now. Maybe just one. Choose the one with the most beautiful wrapping. You can open it, and you can play with it now while I go and fix something for you to eat.
I'm not hungry, Buff. Honestly, I'm not.
Oh, just some milk and cookies, honey. You haven't eaten
All right.
Well, let's choose. Go ahead, pick one.
All right. That one.
It's from Mr. and Mrs. Anderson next door. Open it.
You open it, Buffy.
Very well. Oh, look.
Very nice.
A carousel. Well, I wind it for you. And we'll put it down here. Now. You watch it. When it runs down, you can wind it up again. I'm going into the kitchen. Kathy, here's your... Kathy, honey, where are you? Kathy? Your milk and cookies are on the table. Kathy? Are you in your room, Kathy? Kathy? Kathy, honey? Kathy! Kathy!
Miss Pearl.
Mr. Anderson, is Kathy here?
Well, no.
Would you mind asking Mrs. Anderson if Kathy's here? Maybe she came in through the back way.
Well, Mrs. Anderson and I have been sitting in the living room for the last hour. Well, what's the matter, Miss Pearl?
Kathy ran out of the house.
Oh, poor child. I can imagine how she must feel.
I thought she might have come over here next door. She just ran out of the house. I don't know where she is.
Oh, a child like that must happen to her today. Wait. I'll get my coat, Miss Buff. I'll come with you.
Paul, listen.
Hi, Mr. Anderson. Want a ride? You can go all the way down the hill for $3. They've got it roped off.
Paul, have you seen Kathy?
Sure.
Where is she?
I don't know.
Where is she, Paul? Where did she go?
Oh, I'm supposed to know where she went.
But you saw her, didn't you?
Sure. She was running down the block. I yelled at her to come on over, but she kept running.
Which way, Paul?
Down there, I guess. Where the stores are.
Thank you.
Sure. Merry Christmas, Mr. Anderson. Merry Christmas, Miss Buff. Hey, what?
She hasn't been in my store, Miss Buff, and I'm the only one on the block who's open. Last minute Christmas rush, you know.
Thank you, Mr. Rux.
Say, now that kid and what happened to that plane today, I'd sure let the police know she was missing.
I think he's right, Miss Buff.
Call them, please. Call them.
Oh, use this phone, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you. Hello, operator. Give me the police. Hello, police. I want to report a little girl who's missing. Kathy Harper. Well, she got blonde hair and blue eyes. Oh, wait a second. I'll find out. You just go in the house, Miss Buff. I'm sure they'll find her.
It's 10 o'clock. They've been looking for 3 hours.
Oh, they have ways. They'll find her.
We waited in that station house. All the policemen who phoned in. None of them.
Well, you just go in the house. Now, I'll send Mrs. Anderson.
No, really. I'd rather you wouldn't.
Well.
Good night, Mr. Anderson, and thank you.
I'm Patrolman Reed, ma'am.
Have you found Kathy?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is she?
You better come with me, ma'am. There she is, ma'am, in the second pew.
Oh, Kathy, child.
Christmas Eve. Church should have been the first place we should have looked for that kid.
Kathy, let's go home now, darling.
All right.
There we are. All tucked in.
It's almost Christmas, isn't it?
Yes, darling.
You going to read to me?
Of course. You just lie there.
Buffy,
Yes, darling?
nothing. Just read to me.
It was the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring. Not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Way to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw open the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer with a little old driver, so lively and quick I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen, to the tops of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all.
Kathy, baby. Hey, it's Christmas. We don't cry on Christmas.
I thought, baby.
Hey, how about a big hug for me?
Oh, Daddy.
That's my girl.
Where's Miss Buff? I was in bed. She was reading to me.
In bed's the place for you. Come on, I'll carry you.
Buff, it's Mommy. It's Daddy. I know, darling, I know.
Hello, Buffy. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Buff.
We had to make an emergency landing in Newfoundland. Small field communications were shot. That storm.
Yes. Let's not talk about it anymore now. Buffy was reading me a wonderful thing about the night before Christmas.
Here. I'll put you in bed, Kathy. There you are. Read it to us, Buffy.
Hmm?
To all of us.
Oh, well, I lost my place. Read it, Buffy. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricanes fly when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkle, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney, St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, and turned with a jerk and laying his finger aside of his nose and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down on a thistle. But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard Miss Greer Garson in a dramatization of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, tonight's production in Autolite's Suspense. Miss Garson will return in just a moment.
Next week on Suspense, our star will be Mr. James Mason, who, as Lord Essex, plots to capture Elizabeth's throne. It's called The Queen's Ring. Suspense is transcribed and directed by Elliot Lewis. The music composed by Lucien Morawick and conducted by Lud Gluskin. Chorus was under the direction of Roger Wagner. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas was written for Suspense by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. In tonight's story, Anne Whitfield was heard as Kathy. Featured in the cast were Harry Bartell, Irene Tedrow, Mary Lansing, Charles Calvert, Howard McNear, Herb Butterfield, Johnny McGovern, Sidney Miller, Joseph Kearns, and John Ramsey Hill.
And here once again is our lovely star, Miss Garson.
Harlow, thank you very much. And thank you, Anne Whitfield. While I have these few moments, may I join the Autolite family in sending holiday greetings to our friends everywhere. Merry Christmas, Harlow.
Merry Christmas, Greer. Merry Christmas to all. And to all, a good night.
This is the CBS Radio Network.
Autolite and its 98,000 dealers bring you Mr. James Mason in tonight's presentation of Suspense.
Tonight, Autolite presents the true story of Lord Essex's attempt to gain the throne of England from Queen Elizabeth. The dramatization is called The Queen's Ring. Our star, Mr. James Mason.
Hi, Hap. Buying a magazine, I see.
Yes, sir, Harlow.
Well, why not take this one?
No, thanks. Everyone to his own taste, you know, Harlow.
In buying magazines, yes, Hap. But in replacing electrical system parts for your car, definitely no.
Oh?
Well, for example, many leading makes of our finest cars have Autolite electrical systems as original equipment, right?
Right.
But if replacements are needed, do the owners of those Autolite-equipped cars insist on Autolite original service parts exactly the same as those specified by the car manufacturer?
Well, if they don't, they're sure taking a big chance with a big investment, Harlow.
They sure are, Hap, because Autolite original service parts meet the electrical system specifications of the car manufacturers, and they know what's best for their cars. So, friends, insist on, and be sure you get, only Autolite original service parts for your Autolite-equipped car. See your car dealer or your dealer handling Autolite original service parts. And remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite.
And now, Autolite presents transcribed The Queen's Ring, starring Mr. James Mason with Pamela Mason as Mary Howard, hoping once again to keep you in suspense.
And of what stuff are you, my Lord Essex? Soldier, warrior, hero?
And for this, you bid me sail from Spain to London, sweet Bess, because you're parched to tell me the things I am.
You're a fop. Fop and dandy, lizard and golden fly that buzzes around pots of sweet.
The Spanish honey is wild, sweet Bess.
And you sat in bannered tent and silken hose and sipped the honeycomb
While my men flooded your treasury with casks of Spanish gold.
While your men bleeded and died for you, a trollop danced your tune.
A girl of the sun, a girl of summer.
Young,
but a darting little firefly compared to the flame of the autumn woman. You.
I am old. Is that what you say of me, Lord Essex?
Autumn woman. Fired with 1,000 memories and 10,000 longings. Full woman at full season.
Buzz, 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 you golden fly.
You'd tear my wings from me, sweet Beth?
Yes.
And for this you summoned me from Cadiz.
Yes.
You are queen, and you can do with love what you will.
Yes.
Do it then, Bess. But gently. Because your own winter and your own dying lies with me.
There are rumors about your plot against me. You want my throne.
What webs must I spin for your love, Bess girl? What trickeries? What young lovers' magics? It's you I want, Bess girl. Not your throne.
Traitor. Liar.
Lover.
Liar. And your lies fall sweet on the ears of an old woman.
Do they now, Bess? And what matter to me, you call it false? Call it whatever you like, and let me...
Stand from me, Essex.
Bess, golden Bess, sweet.
Stand from me, Essex.
Queen's command, and women do also.
You go to Ireland, my Lord Essex.
What?
Rebellion flares again in Ireland, and because you are loyal to me, you will trumpet men to yourself, and you will quaff it and extinguish it, and bring me their unconditional surrender.
With blood again. And this time perhaps mine.
Yes.
Would you have me dead?
If you are a traitor to me, sweet Robin, I would have you dead. Traitor with girls of summer.
I will bejewel you with Ireland as I have with Cadiz. Your leave, Majesty. Majesty.
Robin? Robin, come to me. This ring. Take it from my finger. No, kiss not. Kiss not. Take it.
And what is its symbol, sweet queen?
Your life. The purchase back of your life when your queen is galled with Essex. For I know you will trick me again.
Beth.
Silence. You will trick me. And it will be the last time. For I will send you to the gibbet. And you will die. Except for the ring. Send it back to me then. And I will remember how with youth Tempest loved me, sweet Robin. And I will give you back your life. Oh, go.
Robin.
Hark, and how a soft voice beckons me. Why, 'tis Mary. Mary, who shames the pinken hues
You
of...
were long with your queen, Robin.
Your queen, too, Mary. Ah, winsome, handsome Mary.
Long with your queen and wrapping round her all the lying promises you weave so pretty.
The woman is queen, Mary. And the cavalier must...
Then tell me it's me you love, and not that balding crone.
When I'm back from Ireland, Mary, I'll tell you things that'll spin you and wind you in silk. And no longer Mary Howard, lady-in-waiting to Elizabeth, but Mary Howard. Will you serve England well, Mary, when Essex is on the throne?
But love me, Robin. Love me and not her. And I'll serve you however you fancy.
So prettily lipped. And lips on mine to bid the gentle adieu?
Robin.
Ireland will be the gentler for the memory of this mouth. Sweet adieu, Mary. Now consider it, Roger. Admit there's drama in it.
Oh, there is?
A city of Ireland cannoned to death because I ordered it. That's drama.
I said it, Essex.
I ordered it, and from a hill I watched it done, which was all of my promise to Queen Bess. Roger.
I want to hear no more of it.
I tell you the plan I have.
If Bess knew of it, she'd have you hung.
Now, there's the crux of it, I suppose. Which of us will have the other hung? Will Bess hang me, or will I hang her? She's afraid of me. My success is here in Ireland, and the crowds at home saying my name too much, too hers. My Queen Bess frightened.
I call your plan treachery.
If I should wear the crown of England...
And not Elizabeth?
If I should wear it, and not Elizabeth...
Surely you'll die for these thoughts.
Which is the point in which you are incorrect. Not surely I will die for it. Perhaps I will die for it. This ring, Roger. Do not forget this ring. It ensures my life. I can mock her or try to usurp her throne. This ring, it buys back my life. It buys... What horseman is that so close?
I will see. Halt! Halt, or I kill you and horse, Irishman. Sword to slit your throat, Irishman. And tell me, what do you here at the tent of Essex?
To speak with him. To entreat him.
You are coward and you flee from battle to...
To speak with the Lord Essex and to parley with him.
Of what?
Of truce. Armistice.
The Irish blood flows thin. Dismount then, coward. Throw your sword to earth. I take you to your Lord Essex. Essex.
What brambled, filthy beast do you bring me, Roger?
He wants truce, he says.
Huh. What makes you so bold to speak of truce with your Lord Essex?
I am Sean of Lamore.
The Irish chief? I'm honored. You fought bold and brave, Sean.
Take to Queen Elizabeth my proffering of truce.
Why to Elizabeth?
She is your queen. In her name have you spilled our blood?
You want truce?
Yes.
And you will get it not from Elizabeth or from her parliament or her privy lords, but from me, from Essex.
Robin.
Does your stomach crawl with the thought of it, Roger?
You have no right to make truce. You are only...
I am only this. Lord Essex, who will continue battle until the last rebel Irishman lies in scarlet ribbon on the sweet green fields. I am only this. Lord Essex, who was commanded by Elizabeth to bring her unconditional surrender. I can give you truth, Sean. With honor. Not unconditional surrender.
Truth. That's what I want.
But with only one condition. Allegiance to Essex. With your armies.
Allegiance to Essex with my armies.
You shall have truth, Sean. Bold, exquisite, brave, filthy, wild, and wise Sean.
Not loyal, but an end to bloodletting. And home soon, and disbanding of your armies, Essex.
Disband? Disband, Roger? Then how will I entreat for Elizabeth's throne?
A traitor's army? She will hang you high.
You forget, Roger. The ring. The ring. See how it shines, how it glitters, as if alive. We shall see who will hang. In with you, my lord. How now, good Beth?
Up! Rise! Let me look at you. Traitor! Vile and treacherous man!
How good to feel again your fingers on my cheek.
The effrontery of you. To march an army on London. Ragged band that deserted at the first shot. What did you hope to gain, Essex? Applause? Cheers?
Say what you mean, Beth. 'Tis your crown I wish.
Tell me you are suddenly insane and I'll sign your death warrant with cheers.
'Tis your crown, Beth. And yourself, what I want. These two, and I would be master of England. And one without the other.
Let me not think of you as a man whose tongue was plucked from its roots because of vile lies.
Only truth, Beth. The crown. And my lady. And I shall have them.
Indeed. I touch your throat, Robin. Your dear throat. Where tomorrow the rope will be. Your dear throat and the cruel rope. Noon and the hangman's rope. Jailer! To the dungeon with him! Tomorrow he hangs.
Come, my lord.
Wait! Robin.
Good Beth.
Have you nothing to say to me? To give to me?
Nothing.
Is bringing you Mr. James Mason in The Queen's Ring, with Pamela Mason as Mary Howard and Jeanette Nolan as Elizabeth. Tonight's presentation in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Say, Hap, if a reader asked for a sports magazine, would he let the man substitute detective stories?
Why, of course not, Harlow.
Yet many magazine readers will stand for substitute parts in the vital electrical system of their Autolite-equipped cars.
But why, Harlow?
Well, Hap, I guess it's because readers can easily see what's inside the cover of a magazine, but not what's under the hood of the car.
But it's simple, Harlow. Just insist on Autolite original service parts for your Autolite-equipped car, and then you can't go wrong.
Right, Hap. Autolite original service parts meet the exact specifications of leading car manufacturers who specify Autolite electrical systems as original equipment. That means they fit and work as a balanced team with the rest of the electrical system to give you the smoothest performance money can buy.
You don't take substitutes in magazines, so why take them for your car?
Yes, friends, be sure you get what's best for your Autolite-equipped car. See your car dealer or your dealer handling Autolite original service parts. And remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Mr. James Mason with Pamela Mason and Jeanette Nolan in Elliot Lewis's production of The Queen's Ring, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Essex, do you sleep? Wake. Wake, Essex. Wake, man.
You shook a dreaming from my embrace, Roger. A lilt of a dream.
Cock crow in the dawn of your hanging, Robin, and you can sleep and dream the lilting things.
I will tell you this, Roger.
What?
If it's the last dreaming I will ever make, 'twas a fair one was fashioned in my sleeping brain. Passing fair.
And at noon the hangman's rope will twist out of you all the fair and bonny things.
That's what I'm told. At noon.
You're a madman, Robin. To thirst for her throne, to purchase a rabble army out of London alleys and the derelict streets, and to march on her.
It's how the dice fell, Roger. I flung them against the heavens, and I lost. Roger.
Yes?
At noon, when hangman wraps my throat with rope, at this noon, will you weep for me?
Yes.
And who else? Beth? Will sweet Beth weep for me? And Mary Howard? And the damsels of 100 grassy fields, will they weep?
Madman.
How mad? How much am I mad? Shall I dance you a caper, Roger, and leer and grimace?
You need not hang.
I need not? Then what is my need?
Send her the ring you wear. The ring Elizabeth gave you. It will buy you another life.
Send the ring?
Yes, yes.
Tell me, Roger.
What?
How did Beth sleep last night?
What are you...
Come now, Roger. You're at court, and the court whispers of the Queen's waking and the Queen's sleeping. How did Beth sleep last night?
'Tis said she sobbed the night.
And her sobbing made a great drifting moan through the castle vault?
Yes.
Then why send her back the ring?
For your life, Essex.
When I can hold it for so little cost, when I can have it for the price of an old woman's tears, for the price of her longing and her moaning for me, I have but to dry her weeping. And I do not pay out of my pride, or beggar-wise crawl to her and hold out a puny ring and ask the alms for my life. 'Tis a sparkling ring, and worth 1,000 sapphire pounds. She will not have it back from me. And I will not hang.
Robin.
Tell Elizabeth this, that at her age she cannot weather more tears, nor night stoppings, else she becomes a hag and a crone, and sits on England like a bony desert bird, without Essex, without me. Go to. Tell her that, sweet friend.
Majesty?
Lady Mary?
Yes?
Rise. Come to me. Lean your face to me. I would touch it. Oh, the feel of silken youth to your cheek. The bright eyes. Scarlet, fulsome lips. Now, put your hand to my face. Tell me what your fingers feel.
Your Highness.
Do it. Touch here the wrinkle. Here the hollow cheek and the dry, parched lips. Ordinary, you cannot. Why can you not?
Please, Your Highness, let me...
I'll tell you why you cannot. Because age and dying lie deep against my cheek. Here where the tears are flooded. Here where the lip was bit till bleeding.
For Lord Essex?
For Robin, my Lord of Essex.
And yet in a space of hours you will hang him?
He could fall from his pride and live.
How, Majesty? He has entreated you not. He has pleaded not for his life. How will Robin live?
He has but to send me the ring I gave him.
What ring?
Mine that he wears. I told him he could purchase back his life with it, and forgiveness. No matter what dying I commanded him.
And he has not sent it to you?
No.
Then perhaps he loves you not as well as he has whispered you, and prefers this dying. And if it's so, then you're well rid of Essex.
Essex does love me. Go to him, Mary. Go to him and beg of him the ring.
Yes, Highness.
And Lady Mary.
Yes.
Say it is I who beg. Say not Elizabeth, not your queen. Say, woman begs. Say, anguished woman begs. And he will give it you. And you will see how well Robin does love me. Go to him.
The time is soon for his leading out, and he is dying, my Lady Mary. But little more than an hour. In an hour.
Nor do I need reminding of it, jailer.
Mary! Good Mary.
Robin. Oh, Robin, love. Robin. Robin.
Sweet Mary, sweet girl. Mary of the sweet face and tender glance. How will you miss me?
How?
With cruel tears that burn small furrows in your cheek? Don't cry for me. Only smile. Smile always when you think of me, so that when we shall meet again, your face...
What manner of man are you, Robin?
I had a speech for you. Let me finish it.
It's what I mean. In an hour you die, and still you ask the lover.
Don't mock me before I die, little girl. Let me have my play.
Listen, I saw the Queen.
And how is she? Magnificent shamble of a woman that she is. How is Bess? How is Elizabeth, my queen?
Did you love her, Robin?
Loved her, hated her, admired her, cursed her, prayed for her, that she'd live, that she'd die, that she'd suffer, that she'd...
All the things a man could feel for a woman.
You said you saw her. What of it?
She said she'd given you a ring.
Mary.
Don't gentle me, Robin, nor touch me now.
But if you want the truth, I love only you.
On your word?
On my heart, Mary, that had in it only you.
Then listen. She said she gave you a ring and a promise.
Whatever happened, she would forgive me, she said.
Return the ring to her, Robin.
No matter what, she said. Such as leading an army upon her for her crown. Coward army.
That ring you wear?
The very ring.
Let me give it to her.
I do not think so.
She prays for it, Robin. She sent me for it.
Oh?
Let me bring it to her, and she will release you, and you will not die, and there will be no more.
No more what?
There will be peace then. No more fighting and...
And no more what?
Oh, the ring, dear Robin.
Mary.
The ring.
Yes, here. Here, take it. Mary.
Yes.
You're right. Suddenly the thought of dying has no savor in it. I could rule England with her as man and wife. Take the ring. Go to her. Tell her she's won. Jailer, open. Quickly, Mary. Go to her. Give her the ring. Go.
Enter.
My queen?
Quickly, come. Well,
he said...
The ring? Did he send the ring?
No.
What?
He laughed, and he said he has beaten you.
Oh, Robin.
He said...
What?
Dare I say it?
Say it! Say it, else you will climb the gibbet with him.
That you were a crone.
Oh, he loved me.
But if he loved you, he would have sent back the ring. If he valued your forgiveness, he would have given me the ring for you. But he did not.
Yes.
My queen, come to the window. Let me help you to the window to see.
Oh.
see, he mounts the scaffold. Oh. And the top of it, the trap. Crone, he said you were. But what must he think of you now? Forsaken.
What?
Forsaken. You denied him his life.
But the ring, he would not return it. His pride has killed him.
See, now they place the rope down there. And the man you owned, whose body you owned and sold, old woman, to deny it to me, who he truly loved.
What are you saying?
Who he truly loved. And he must die for it. But that is the only way I can triumph over both of you.
You?
Yes. Alive, he would run to you. And you would lay your fingers against his hair and swoon inside of you and give to him what he desired.
Yes. Even to the throne if he wanted it. My lord! My lord! Send to the square! Send to the hangman and tell to him, my Lord Essex is to be found! Robin! Oh, brave Robin!
I lied to you, my queen. He asked me to give you this.
Suspense. Presented by Autolite. Tonight's star, Mr. James Mason.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for Autolite, the world's largest independent manufacturer of automotive electrical equipment. In 28 plants from coast to coast, Autolite makes over 400 products for cars, trucks, tractors, planes, boats, and industry. These products include bumpers, die castings, industrial thermometers, and batteries such as the famous Autolite Stay Full, ignition-engineered Autolite spark plugs, both standard and resistor types, voltage regulators, wire and battery cable, Autolite Bullseye sealed beam units, and Autolite original service parts for all Autolite electrical systems. Autolite is proud to serve the greatest names in the industry. So, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite.
Next week, one of the most terrifying half hours ever presented on Suspense. A young couple and a mad woman. And what happened to them on a country road. Our star, Mr. Frank Lovejoy. That's next week on Suspense. Suspense is transcribed and directed by Elliot Lewis, with music composed by Lucian Morowick and conducted by Lud Gluskin. The Queen's Ring was adapted for Suspense by Morton Fine and David Friedkin. In tonight's story, Jeanette Nolan was heard as Elizabeth and Pamela Mason as Mary. Featured in the cast were Joseph Kearns and Ben Wright.
James Mason may currently be seen starring in the United Artists picture The Man Between.
And remember, next week, Mr. Frank Lovejoy in On a Country Road.
You can buy Autolite original service parts, Autolite standard or resistor type spark plugs, and Autolite Stay Full batteries at your neighborhood Autolite dealers. Switch to Autolite. Good night.
This is the CBS Radio Network.
The Whistler. Presented by the United States Air Forces in Europe.
I am the Whistler, and I know many things, for I walk by night. I know many strange tales hidden in the hearts of men and women who have stepped into the shadows. Yes, I know the nameless terrors of which they dare not speak.
And now, the Whistler's strange story. Girl in Black.
The big city that only a few short months ago had held so much promise and excitement for Margaret Vale now seemed empty and vacant, and she felt terribly, frighteningly alone. The show in which she had a good part had opened one night and closed the next, and with its closing went Margaret's dreams and hopes for a successful acting career. And now, climbing the stairs of a second-rate theatrical agency to the office of Sam Walker, you only hope you can talk the cigar-smoking little man out of a loan, so that you won't have to add insult to injury and write your people for your return railroad fare. Sam Walker, however, seems to anticipate the purpose of your visit, and he makes things coldly clear almost before you can sit down.
Honey, let's get one thing straight. This is a theatrical agency, not a lending agency. Now, look, you're down on your luck, but things will turn out.
No, Sam. This isn't for me. I've found out now. My parents were right.
Your parents?
Yeah. They told me to go ahead, take a couple of years while I had them to spare, give it a try, get it out of my system. Well, I've tried.
Yeah, I guess you have. Look, Maggie, if you're really serious about going home.
Yes, I am. I think I almost want to now.
No. Well, I got a way you can almost get there. Maybe pick up a few bucks besides.
Oh?
Yeah, come to think of it, you'll even get a new dress out of the deal.
Cinderella Sam, keep talking, will you?
Kind of unusual setup. Not too unusual, though. I guess it happens sometimes. Somebody in the family doesn't want to take the time, or maybe they're not interested. I don't know.
Come on. What's the job?
It's an acting job, in a way. You'll play the part of a grieving relative.
What?
Look, honey, you want to get home? There's really nothing to this. Your train fare and $50. You'll accompany the casket to a little town called Prenticeville.
Prenticeville? Well, that's only a couple of 100 miles from my hometown.
Good. You take the train from here. They'll put the casket on the train at San Ord. You sign for it, escort it to Prenticeville. That's all. You take the job?
Oh, of course I do, and thanks, Sam.
Good. Here's your train ticket. You'll get the money in Prenticeville at the Greenbrier Mortuary. The party who's paying for all this will leave an envelope for you at the mortuary manager.
$50, you said? Well, with what I have left, I'll be able to take a box from Prenticeville. Oh, Sam, I love you.
Sure, I love you, too. When you get home, don't forget to mail me back my 10%.
With pleasure. Oh, what about that new dress?
Oh, yeah. It's arranged for you to charge it at a local department store. Let's see, Clivedale's.
Clivedale's? Well, get me. At least I'm going home in style.
Yeah. Just don't get too stylish, honey. You better make that dress black.
It's a strange role to play, isn't it, Margaret? And yet you don't mind. You even get enjoyment out of selecting the dress. It's been so long since you've bought one. On the train, you find the ride restful and pleasant, and any misgivings you had about your assignment have vanished. But as the train stops at San Ord, you find the little station framed in a damp, ominous fog. And as you present yourself to the baggage master and catch sight of the casket, a strange feeling of dread comes over you.
Margaret Vale. You relative?
No. Just helping out the family.
Rather unpleasant duty for a pretty young girl. Nasty night, too, all this fog.
I don't mind. Not foggy inside the train.
Oh, isn't it the truth? A little moving world of its own, isn't it? Oh, the casket's being put in the baggage car now. You can get back on any time.
Thank you.
Minutes later, the train is underway again. And it's like the baggage master said, isn't it, Margaret? A moving world of its own. And you feel safe, secure. You put your head back against the seat cushions and drop off to sleep. The fog is worse in Prenticeville. You feel as if you're in a dream or a play, and everything that happens seems only like impressions. The casket, taken from the train, moved through the fog into a waiting car. The train pulling out and leaving you alone with the man from the mortuary.
I was told there'd be an envelope here for me. Do you have it with you, or were you expecting me to pick it up at the mortuary office?
Envelope? Oh, yes, there was one. I'm sorry, miss, but I left it in the office. I'll be happy to mail it to you in the morning.
No, I have to have it now. I'm leaving Princeton as soon as I can get a bus.
Very well, miss. This way. You can ride out with me. I've got to drive slow on account of the fog. Bad night. I guess it was good for that chap that escaped from San Ord, though. Did you hear about it?
No, what happened?
A lifer escaped. It was on the radio earlier. Come to think of it, it must have been a couple of hours before your train stopped at San Ord.
Oh? I didn't hear anything about it.
Perhaps the news flash wasn't on yet. Well, it was a lifer. Mace Murdoch. Certainly gave them the slip. Must have had it all very carefully timed. Went over the wall and disappeared completely.
Gives me the willies. People like that wandering around.
Oh. Here we are. You wait here, and I'll go in and get your envelope for you.
While you're in the office, would you call a cab to take me to the bus station?
Certainly. You'd better come on in and wait in the front office, miss.
Thank you. Oh, I forgot my handbag.
What?
My handbag. I left it on the seat of the car. Never mind, I'll get it.
Well, the office is right off here when you come back, miss.
Thank you.
Outside, as you start toward the dark paneled car containing the casket, you suddenly freeze in your tracks, staring. There's a man emerging from the door at the rear of the car. A tall, sturdily built man in prison garb. The casket. That's the only place he could have hidden, isn't it, Margaret? You gasp and open your mouth to cry out, but he's upon you before there's any sound. He claps a hand over your mouth, and with his free arm drags you back into the shadows of the platform.
Be quiet, you won't get hurt. Here they come, my pals. Casket inside the car?
Yeah, Keller, it's here. Key's still in the ignition, too.
Yeah, we're in luck. Get in. Drive it out to the farm.
Okay.
So long, boys. Any surprise you get coming? Okay, when he comes back out, just describe exactly what you saw happen. No more, no less.
Exactly. What I saw, I understand.
Oh, here's your envelope, miss. Your taxi's on its way out here now. What's the matter? The car with the casket.
They're gone. Somebody drove up. 2 men. One of them drove it away.
2 men?
Yes. One of them got out. Got in the mortuary car and drove it off. The other one followed him in the car they drove up in. They said they'd meet out at the farm or something like that.
Oh, I can hardly believe it. It never happened before.
It happened just now. Just as I told you. There was nothing I could do. I didn't dare call out.
No, of course not. Police. I've got to call the police. I'm going inside and call the police.
Hold it, sister. Not leaving you here to tell them what else happened. Just before the truck was stolen, the dead came to life, huh?
You're the one they're looking for, aren't you? Murdoch. The killer that escaped from the prison near San Ord. You were in the casket when they put it in the train.
That's right. Specially built, with plenty of ventilation. Real comfortable.
There wasn't anyone dead.
No one. Now, come on. The man went to call the police. This is no place for you and me.
Oh, please. Go on without me. There's nothing more I can do. I won't tell anyone about you. I'm just an actress on my way to my hometown.
If you're a good girl, you'll get home okay. An actress, huh? Well, you can act like you're married to me. I can move around better that way. The police won't be looking for the 2 of us together.
You won't get away with it. Not in those clothes.
In this fog, I can make it to an apartment where I'm picking up some different clothes and a car. After that, we'll hit the road.
It's like a fantastic dream, isn't it, Margaret? And you can't believe it's really happened to you, but it is. And now, Mace Murdoch, holding you tightly by the arm, hurries you down the darkened side street. Mace Murdoch, convict, who escaped the police through a prearranged plan, hiding in the casket you accompanied on the train from San Ord. He can't let you go, can he, Margaret? No. Because he's afraid you'd tell the police, so he's decided to take you with him. And you wonder where and how it will all end. There's one thing you're certain of. When you're of no further use to him, he'll kill you, won't he? 10 minutes later, the two of you hurry into a small apartment building.
Yes, what? Mace Murdoch.
Mind if we come in, Harry?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
See here,
thanks.
Mace,
After you, sweetheart.
I heard about you breaking out, Mace. How did you do it?
Well, Keller fixed it.
Keller? You're joking. It's not like Keller to go messing around trying to spring a con.
Not unless there's big dough in it. How about a drink, Harry?
Oh, Mace, what did you mean about there being money in the deal?
My cellmate was a guy named Dutch Stauffer. Mean anything?
Of course. He got picked up on a bank job about 5 years ago, $100,000. None of the money was ever found. They figured he hid it away somewhere.
That's the way Keller had it figured, too.
But didn't Stauffer die last month?
Yeah, that's right. But maybe before he died, he whispered something to me about where the 100,000 is,
That's right.
I got word to Keller and made a deal. If he got me out, I'd cut him in for 50,000. Keller worked out a beautiful plan, and here I am.
Well, here's your drink, Mace.
Thanks.
Look, there's something I don't understand. If Keller fixed the break for you, how come you're not with him and the boys now?
I figured it wouldn't be healthy. You see, he'd want me to tell him where the dough is. And I don't know.
You don't know? You mean...
I mean Stauffer never opened his mouth to me.
Oh, brother. Keller's not going to like that.
Who cares? I'm just interested in getting out of town. That's why I came to you, Harry. You're an old pal, just about my size.
Oh, you want some clothes? Of course. Help yourself. The stuff's in the bedroom closet.
Thanks. Oh, Harry.
Yeah?
While I'm changing, keep your eye on the doll here, huh? She might want to leave in a hurry, and I wouldn't like that.
Of course, certainly. Oh, look, lady, what is this between you and Mace? You mad about something?
Listen to me. I've got some money. Not much. But I'll give it to you, all of it. I just want to get away.
Oh, now, you heard what Mace said. He wouldn't like it.
Please, here, take the money. You'll kill me if you don't let me go.
Now, why would he want to do a thing like that to a nice-looking girl? Hey, wait a minute. Don't go running anywhere.
Oh, Harry.
Mr. Keller.
I was just about to knock. Am I interrupting something?
Why, no, nothing at all.
The lady here seems to be in a hurry.
Let me go.
I'll take it easy, lady.
Not being very polite, Harry. If the lady wants to leave, I don't see why she can't. Wait a minute now. Maybe that's not such a good idea after all. I think I've seen this little lady somewhere before. Maybe at the depot tonight, huh?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure you do. Quite a coincidence finding you here with an old friend of Mace Murdoch's. Yeah, quite a coincidence. Maybe the two of you know something I want to know. Like where Mace is right now, eh? How about it, sweetheart? Where is he?
Come on, I said, where is he?
Bedroom.
Okay. Get moving.
Keller draws a gun from his pocket and, using you as a shield, forces you toward the bedroom door. Then, in a sudden movement, he reaches past you and opens the door. You stand there, paralyzed with fear. Nothing happens. And then you see why. The bedroom window is wide open, the wind blowing the curtains into the room. Keller brushes you aside and hurries to the window.
He's gone. Got away down the fire escape.
Gone. He's gone.
Well, he's not going to get very far.
What's going on here? Where's Keller gone to?
Out there.
Out the window?
Yes. Murdoch got away. Keller went after him.
Well, what do you... Look, lady, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here. I don't want to be around when Keller gets back. Now, what's happened to my car keys? I had them right here on the dresser.
I got them, Mary.
Mace.
Well, you've been in the closet, I thought.
Yeah, so did Keller. You know, for a smart guy, Keller falls for some pretty old gang.
Now, wait a minute, Mace. You were going to take my car?
Yeah. You can tell Keller I took it while you were under a gun. Me and the little lady here have some traveling to do. Come on, baby, let's go. What's that town we're coming into up ahead, sweetheart?
Colby.
Looks sort of busy for this time of night. Hey, maybe they got a dance going, huh?
That's right.
You seem to know an awful lot about this part of the country.
My hometown isn't very far from here.
Oh, that's so. Never figured you for a small town girl. Hey, look. Better move in closer to me. Put your head on my shoulder.
What?
Put your head on my shoulder and shut up. Police car parked at the corner. That's better. Now we're just a guy and his girl out for a little drive.
Mace.
What?
I've done everything you asked me, haven't I?
Sure. You've been a good girl. So?
You're in the clear now. Over 150 miles out of Prentice-ville. The police
There's still state cops to watch out for. Like those two we just passed.
We'll be coming into my hometown in another hour or so.
And you want me to drop you off, huh?
I wouldn't say a word to anyone, Mace. I wouldn't.
I know. So I'm not going to give you that chance.
Mace, listen.
Keep your head down. Right there on my shoulder where it's supposed to be. Now, forget about your hometown, sweetheart. I'm not letting you out of my sight yet. Not for a good long while.
Mace.
Well, I thought you were asleep. Hadn't heard a word out of you the last 50 miles.
You haven't changed your mind about...
About dropping you off with the home folks? No. I haven't changed my mind. Forget it.
All right, Mace. All right.
Hey, come here. Come here, I said.
Oh.
Not jumping up.
Let me go.
Let go of the wheel. It'll wring your neck. Sure did a nice job. Real nice job. Smashed in the whole front of Harry's car. Well, we walk. Oh, this is great. The storm coming up.
Walk where?
To the next farmhouse, I guess. See if we can pick up a car or a ride. All you did was make things tougher for both of us. Come on, get out of the car. Go on, get moving. We might have quite a hike ahead of us. Hold it. There's a farmhouse. See if they can help us.
You won't harm anybody.
Yeah, we'll see what they do for us. Remember now, we're Mr. and Mrs. Williams. Our car broke down. All we want's a ride to the nearest bus station. You got that?
Mr. and Mrs. Williams, whatever you say.
Come on. No tricks now.
No. Yes?
How do you do? We broke down our car. Wondered if we could get some help.
Oh, well, just a moment.
An old lady we're in luck.
Just don't hurt us. Oh, young folks, well, come in, come inside. Ruthie, now you stop your barking now. Everything's all right. I'll get the lights on. Oh, there we are. What? Miss Margaret. Margaret Vale, isn't it? That's right. I don't think I remember you. Oh, I'm Mrs. Bell. No, you wouldn't remember me, child. Goodness, we've so few visitors out here, but you live over in Midvale, don't you? That's right, and it isn't Miss Vale anymore, Mrs. Bell. Oh?
No, it's Mrs. Williams now.
Well, how nice. How very nice for you, my dear. Oh, but come in by the fire, you two. You're drenched through. I'll fix you some hot coffee.
No, that can wait, Mrs. Bell. What we're really interested in is getting to the bus station. You got a car here?
No, I haven't. And Mr. Bell's out of town, but Oh, I'll call a neighbor. Jess Carlson. Ask him to drive over and take you into town. He only lives a mile or so away.
Oh, thanks very much.
That'll be very nice of you. Not at all, not at all. Now, go on, the both of you, in by the fire. I'll call Jess and fix that hot coffee before you catch your death. Now, go on.
All right. You did great, Mrs. Williams. Great.
And for what? So that when we get to the bus station, we walk down an alley and... My life, too?
No. I've made up our mind. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
It had been a terrifying ordeal, hadn't it, Mark? A nerve-shattering nightmare that had its beginning when Mace Murdoch, escaped convict, forced you to accompany him in his flight from the police. And then suddenly it was all over. The strain had proved too much. You vaguely remember a car driving up in front of the house. Remember trying to get to your feet. And then the sudden collapse, darkness closing in, engulfing you. And now the black veil is lifted. You find yourself on the couch in Mrs. Bell's living room with Mrs. Bell and the local sheriff.
Hello. Feeling all right now?
Yes, I think so. How did I get here? Oh, you fainted, dear. Murdoch, where...
Easy now, easy. I'm the sheriff. My boys have taken Murdoch down to police headquarters. He won't bother you anymore.
Sheriff, how did you know something was wrong, that I was in trouble?
It wasn't hard to guess. You didn't know Mrs. Bell's neighbor, Jess Carlson, was a good friend of your husband's, did you?
Mr. Carlson knows Jim, my husband?
He sure does. He knew he was due back from Korea soon, too. But not this soon. Just figured something was mighty wrong when Mrs. Bell called him and told him you were there with a husband named Williams when he knew your husband's name was Jim Gordon. He just called me right away. That's why I brought my boys along.
Listen next week when once again the United States Air Forces in Europe present The Whistler.
Everyman's Theater, written and directed by Arch Oboler. Octadol invites you. Everyman's Theater. You'll hear it every Friday at this time and over this station. Yes, each Friday night at this time you'll hear a play, sometimes romance, sometimes tragedy, sometimes comedy, especially written for radio by Arch Oboler. We think you'll look forward to it each week. Plan to listen to every program of Everyman's Theater because we believe these Arch Oboler plays will interest you as few radio programs have ever done before. Tonight is the first program. Everyman's Theater presents one of the world's greatest love stories. A true love story with one of the world's greatest actresses, Nazimova. A great love story deserves great music. So tonight we have a symphony orchestra under the direction of Gordon Jenkins. But first, a word from our writer-director, Arch Oboler.
Aren't you tired of all this cruelty and bitterness between men? I know I am. So, come. Let's have a play of love. A strange love.
In a darkened room sits a woman, an old woman. She sits very quietly, white hands motionless. This is a room in a fashionable house in a city of the Imperial Russia of 1893. The Russia of great poverty and great riches, of great ignorance and great art. The old woman sits, listening to the thoughts in her mind.
Piotr, why are you in my mind? Why do I think of you now? Why is your son with me here in the darkness? Why today, Piotr? I had put you away from me. Why have you come back today, Piotr?
Madame, it is of the utmost importance that you listen to me.
Who is it says that to me?
Madame, it is of the utmost importance that you listen to me.
Oh, yes. 16 years ago. It was you, Nikolai Rubinstein. Oh, you have been dead so long. And yet I remember what you said that day. How strange. I should remember.
Nadyezhda Valetovna, my mission here is of the utmost importance.
Really, Nikolai, I find very little of importance in this world.
There was a young man in my music school of great poverty and pride and shyness.
Of what interest is that to an old widow with a house full of children?
If you will let me speak, Nadyezhda Valetovna.
Well?
There is one more quality this young man possesses which may interest you. His ability. Listen closely.
Nikolai, I have neither a time nor the inclination for music now. What music was this? What music was this you began to play, Nikolai Rubinstein? So many years, and yet I hear it. Music, and yet not music. A voice, a man's voice, singing to me. Saying, "You're tired, Nadyezhda? I tell you there will be no weariness. You're old, Nadyezhda? I tell you, you will be young. You will have life again. A glorious singing life. Oh, I tell you this, Nadyezhda. I tell you this. I tell you this." When you had finished, Nikolai, I remember I said, "Nikolai, tell me, who did that?"
Only a teacher in my school.
Who?
No one you've heard of. Tchaikovsky. Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky.
So I heard your name for the first time, Pyotr.
You have helped so many musicians, Nadyezhda Valetovna. Will you help this one?
Would I help you, Pyotr? No. Would you help me?
The wealthy widow of Van Meck.
Private railroads.
Townhouse.
Yes, I had all
On
those.
Riviera.
Milochka, George, Julia.
Yes, I had my children, I had them, but...
Nothing.
Yes. Nothing for me. How could I explain to Nikolai, to anyone, to run a house, to count my money? Oh, was this enough a life for me? I wanted... A
letter for you, madame.
Oh, your first letter, Pyotr.
I am sincerely grateful for the kind and flattering words that you were good enough to write me. It is a comfort to know there is a small minority of people, like yourself, who truly and warmly love our art.
In a moment, my pen was in my hand. I would write you, yes. I was a woman past middle age. I had borne children, yes, but my husband was dead, and my children were growing in their own lives, and I had nothing, and I must have something. You, Pyotr, you, the music in you. Oh, if I could give it life and reality, my life would have meaning and reality. Yes, I would write you that, Pyotr. I would tell you. No. I threw the pen from me. Oh, what madness had come over me. I didn't need man nor God. I would pay you for your music and have done with you, yes. And then, at the concert, that very night, oh, your music. The night was cold. And I wanted to be away from those smug little faces, the whole crowd of them. Oh, the night was singing with your song, Piotr. And I walked in the dark along the boulevard back to my home. And the soft flakes of snow wet in my face. And with every step, there was a singing in my heart that said,
"Help me. I need your help, Nadezhda. They torture me with their indifference. I have written so much and it's meant so little. I am weary unto death. Help me."
I told myself, yes, I would always help you, Piotr. Oh, do you remember your next letter?
Dear Nadezhda Fedoryevna, thank you for your sweet, kind, and friendly letter, and your wonderful and kind generosity. I have finished the outline of my new symphony, the fourth.
A symphony?
I want very much to dedicate it to you.
A symphony? Dedicated to me? Oh, how days ran then, Piotr. I, an elderly woman, a symphony dedicated to me.
Oh, Mother, it's so good to hear you laugh. You're very pretty when you laugh, Mother. Oh, we're so happy that you're happy, Mother dear. So happy.
And then, 3 months, Piotr. 3 months and not a word from you. Oh, what has happened to you, my friend? What?
He's ill, sick, dying. Accident. Cholera.
Oh, no, that couldn't be true. But with every day, the voices in my head grew louder and louder. Oh, stop saying that. Look, Piotr, it couldn't. The postman. A letter. Oh, your handwriting, Piotr.
Dear Nadezhda Fedoryevna, you must forgive me for not writing before. I am now...
What was that word?
Married.
No, I must have read it wrong, I told myself. I held the letter close to my eyes.
Married.
No.
Married. Married!
Oh, no. No. And when I stopped crying, I dipped my pen in my tears, and I wrote you. With all my heart, I congratulate you, my dear friend. Who should be happy, if not you, the giver of such great joy to others? From my heart, I press your hand. Do not forget one devoted with all her soul. The days after that, like the days after someone who was close to you has gone away forever. The sun climbs the sky, and there are things to be done, and you do them. Then it's night. Everything is just the same. And yet, nothing is the same. Who was she, this woman who had taken your heart? Was she very young?
I love you, my husband.
Oh, would she understand you? Would she respect your shyness? Suffer your angers when fires of music blazed in you? Humor your child ways? Respect your greatness? I ask myself 1,000 times, would she do all these things for you, Piotr, that anyone who truly loved you would do? How could there be an answer? No, This was my destiny. Old woman. To watch the days and the years spin around nothing. Into nothing. Always nothing. To need no one. And to have no one who needed me. How strange the night I remember now, Piotr.
Good night, Mother. Sleep well, Mother. Good night.
I lay down on my bed. Shut my eyes. Sleep. Yeah. Sleep. And forget. I closed my eyes. That time. What? The river. Yes, the river. Rushing cool through the dark. Dream? Well, why should I dream this dream? My name? Has someone called my name? Yes, again. Who was it? And then someone coming out of the water. Who? So dark. In my dream, I wanted to see. I had to see. A man in the water. The arms lifted toward me. I saw Piotr. You.
Not yet.
The children. Servants in my room.
What is it? Mother, you're awake and smiling.
Yes, Piotr. Somehow I knew then you still needed me. Rumors. I began to hear rumors. And from what they said, I began to see the whole horrible picture of her.
Why are you doing that, Piotr? Where are you going, Piotr? What are you writing, Piotr? Will you make much money,
So
Piotr? Will you buy
this was the woman my friend had taken. This was Antonina. Grinding his heart away with her miserable white this and do this and don't do that. Oh, I'll put an end to this leech in your veins. I would. And I did.
He has gone off to Italy, of all places, this unpredictable Piotr Ilyich. To Italy, without that new wife of his, and to write a new symphony, no less. I wonder where he got the money.
Clever Nikolai Rubinstein. I think he knew Piotr. But it didn't matter. You were free. You were free to work, and as you worked, you lived. And as you lived, Piotr, I lived. At last the day.
The 22nd of February.
Oh, never to be forgotten day. The conservatory. So many lights. Oh, so many people. The conductor. Bow to the right and to the left. Why didn't he start the little puppet? Quiet. Oh, I couldn't breathe. The baton up. My own. Out of the mind and out of the heart of you. For me. I sat there. I was with you, Piotr. For the first time, even in thought. Alone with you. The wings of your music lifting me to another world where I was as young as you. Over? Oh, no, not over. Someone thrust a program into my hand.
Don't you want a souvenir of the evening?
I looked at the paper. I could hardly see. Fourth Symphony of Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky, dedicated
to my beloved friend.
Oh, Pyotr, if the rest of my life could have been as at that moment. And yet, only your letters talking to me. Oh, Pyotr, walking in the night, I was lonely. I wanted your footsteps echoing mine. I wanted your voice answering mine. I wanted to see you. Pyotr, why not? Why not? The thoughts in you were as my thoughts. The dreams in you were as my dreams. The music in you was mine. Oh, you'd written that to me 100 times. Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I see you? Oh, the want in me was so great. Did the heavens take pity?
Mother?
Yes, Milechka?
Mother, look. The other carriage. It stopped.
Driver, stop. Stop at once. I looked up. My heart began to beat so strangely. I could feel the pulse of it in my throat and the sound of it in my ears. You, Pyotr. You. Oh, my heart beats louder and louder. I wanted to say to you, Pyotr, do you hear it? Do you? And then, in your eyes, in a quick moment, I saw what you were thinking.
Nadezhda Filaretovna, I beg you, do not speak. Your wealth has given me solitude, and in this solitude is my music. Speak, and you destroy the silence which brings me my music. Speak, and you destroy the wordless perfection of our friendship.
And so I did not speak, Pyotr. What answer can there be when a young man says to an old woman, "This is our friendship. Dare to change it and you destroy it." No, I did not speak, Pyotr. Through all the years, I did not speak. But your music, always the wonder of your music. How they began to applaud you.
I always kept the man with the genius medal for the star himself.
Yes. You let them pat you on the back with a quick flattery of their useless hands. It didn't matter. It didn't matter as long as you wrote your music, Pyotr. For me. Oh, there was no weariness now. I had life again. And you gave it to me, Pyotr. You. Oh, and it would last forever. Your need of me was as great as my need of you. So all of it would last as long as we lived. And I was young again. And life was good, Pyotr. Everlastingly good. Oh, everlastingly. No. That was my son.
He is dying, madame.
My son dying?
He has been working beyond his strength. The illness caught him quite weakened. He is dying, madame.
Working beyond his strength? For what? For me. For the money Oh, Pyotr. I went into his room. What's this? Vladimir? My firstborn? My darling?
Mother.
Vladimir.
Mother, help me. Help me. Help me.
Whose words? Yes, you. You, Pyotr. Yes. For 13 years. Forgotten children and home. Only you. My every waking thought, you. And the help of you. And now those same words from my son.
Help me.
Yes. For 13 years I have sinned against him. But now I would help him. At his bedside I said it. Not a prayer. Who was I to pray? You, up there, whoever and whatever you are, listen to me. Let him live, my son. Let him live even a little longer. And I will give up all else but my children. Let him live, my son. And so the compact was made, Piotr, between God and me. And all these years I've kept it. My son lived a little longer, and I died when I wrote you that letter. That letter full of the bitterness of lies, telling you it was ended between us. All lies, Piotr. For now I can tell you the truth. I love you, Piotr. There, I said it at last. I love you, Piotr. I love you. As a woman loves a man. A young woman. Young. Church bells. Why do they ring so late at night? I'm so old. My thoughts. Where should the bells? Oh, yes, I remember. Piotr, they told me yesterday. They carried you through the streets. Thousands of them mourning. Carried you and put you to rest. Piotr, why are you in my mind? Why have I thought of you now? Why was your son with me here in the darkness? Why today, Piotr? To talk to me as I have talked to you?
Dear friend, be assured I shall remember you and bless you until my last breath.
Your last letter to me.
You yourself do not realize the extent of what you have done for me. Never for one moment have I forgotten you, nor will I forget you, because every thought I have concerning myself concerns you also. I kiss your hand with all the warmth my heart contains.
I kiss your hand with all the warmth my heart contains. Oh, Piotr, I'm so weary. I want to rest. Sing me to sleep. Now, beloved friend.
Oboler. Tonight we've had the honor of bringing you Nazimova in This Lonely Heart, featured with Madame Nazimova as Elliot Lewis. I hope you've enjoyed our program tonight, and I hope you'll be a regular listener to Every Man's Theater. Now, that name has been carefully chosen, for we think Every Man's Theater will bring you week by week the kind of radio plays that will appeal to every man and every woman. Now, for instance, next week you'll hear Raymond Massey in a new play. About it tomorrow we hope will never happen. Then the week after that, Betty Winkler, Raymond Edward Johnson in Catwife. And for that one, you'd better have all the lights turned on. The third week, an entirely different sort of play. Mr. and Mrs. Chump, with Walter Houston and his talented wife, Nan Sunderland. And so you see, there'll be something different every week in Every Man's Theater. Until next Friday, then.
And now, please, a word about the sponsor of this program. Every Man's Theater is Procter & Gamble's newest radio program. It's sponsored by Oxydol, Procter & Gamble's famous granulated laundry soap. In the last few years, thousands and hundreds of thousands of women have switched to Oxydol. Oxydol, Oxydol. Have discarded old favorite soaps of every kind and use nothing but Oxydol in their laundry tub or machine today. Now, there's a reason for this. In the white washes Oxydol gets, its speed in tub or machine, and its safety to washable fabrics and colors. Ask for Oxydol when you get laundry soap tomorrow. And listen to Every Man's Theater next Friday at this same time. Raymond Massey in an exciting play of these days we live in, This Precious Freedom. Thank you, and good night. Every Man's Theater, written and directed by Arch Oboler.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
This is Orson Welles, speaking from London. The Black Museum, a repository of death. Here in the grim stone structure on the Thames, which houses Scotland Yard, is a warehouse of homicide, where everyday objects, a piece of wire, a chemist's flask, a silver shilling, all are touched by murder. Here's a bathtub. It's a familiar object. This is an old-fashioned one, a ball and claw-footed bathtub without plumbing connections. It's the kind our fathers and mothers knew about. Into this they poured the Saturday night water by hand. Some liked it cool. Others liked it hot.
There we are, dear. Is that hot enough?
If you think so, darling. Oh, you're the sweetest. I wonder how I had the luck to marry you.
Part of my job, dear. Taking care of you. And one day soon, we shall have a tub with taps. One of the new ones. You'll see.
Now today, the bathtub can be found in the Black Museum.
From the annals of the Criminal Investigation Department of the London Police, we bring you the dramatic stories of the crimes recorded by the objects in Scotland Yard's Gallery of Death, the Black Museum. In just a moment, you will hear The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles. Now, The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles.
Here we are. Here we are in the Black Museum, Scotland Yard's mausoleum of murder. Here lies death. Like the ordered rows of markers in a military cemetery, the white cards with the black printing line the silent shelves, the cabinets, the crowded floor, each card identifying a means to murder. A lovely wine glass here, beautiful ringing crystal. Yet in that sound was terror. In this glass was poison and horrible writhing death. Now here we are, here's the bathtub. So innocent, even comical. Basis for 1,000 jokes. Foundation for laughter, circa 1910. No plumbing attached, of course. One poured the water in from buckets and pitchers. Truly an effort, the use of such a tub as this. Definitely a matter for an interior, not for an exterior. Certainly not for a garden like this, where in the peaceful year of 1910, Edward Jones read aloud to his wife, Evelyn.
Friendship is constant in all other things save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof which I mistrusted not. But Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing, my dear. Like it?
You read so well, Eddie, darling. So well.
I do like it here, Evelyn. I wish nothing ever interrupted us. But, as the bard said, the world is too much with us.
You make that sound as if you were going off on another trip. Are you, darling?
I'm afraid so. That case for Mr. Carter, the Ming Dynasty cherry water bottle, remember? I've heard of one up north. Oh, dear, I wish I could run an antique shop without these interminable trips. But I suppose there's nothing for it.
Too bad. Poor Eddie, poor Evelyn, separated so often and for such long periods. But business is business, and a living must be made. Eddie bids his wife a fond farewell and proceeds on his way to a middle-sized city. There he walks the street, enjoying the sunshine and the crowd, when suddenly...
Ed! Oh, Ed, darling. Oh, at last, after all these months. Oh, Ed.
Wait, what? Anne. Oh, my darling.
Oh, Eddie. Oh, it's been so long and no word. I thought you might be dead.
Of course not, darling, like the bad penny. Why, I was hoping against hope I'd find you any minute. I went back to our place, but you're gone. A new landlady, no information.
Oh, but what happened, darling? You never wrote, and I waited and waited.
Yes, it was an accident, darling. Blow on the head. Amnesia. Only a few days ago, I came back to myself.
Oh, my poor darling.
No matter, darling Annie. We are back together. Once again, we are husband and wife.
So that's the little game, is it? A wife in every city, is it? Well, now, Mr. Edward Jones, what's the idea? What can this get you, besides a heap of trouble and stiff prison sentence? What can it get you?
There we are, Anne, my dear. I've signed mine. Now you sign yours. You see? Ladies are first, except in getting off trolley cars or signing wills.
Oh, Eddie, you are sweet. There we are. Now, heaven forbid, anything happens to you, all you have is mine, and vice versa, if anything should happen to me.
Heaven forbid, Anne, my dear.
Well, apparently it can get you plenty. If your wife has plenty, and Anne was, well, decently off with an easy income from her father's estate, although she's not allowed to touch the principal. However, there was a proviso concerning her husband's rights. If and when.
I'm horribly upset about it, Doctor. Here she is, apparently in perfect health. She has an awful fit, and all she remembers about it is a slight headache. She's my wife, Doctor.
These things happen, Mr. Jameson, I can assure you.
Oh. So Eddie Jones is Eddie Jemison hereabouts. Ah, it's interesting.
Nothing. I found absolutely nothing physiologically wrong with Mrs. Jameson. She's in perfect physical health. Now then.
But how can I be, Doctor, when I have these terrible fits?
Well, such things even we doctors don't know yet, my dear. Such as the reaction of the human mind to great stress. And you've been through such stress with Mr. Jameson missing so long.
But what can we do about it, Dr. Margetson?
Oh, just rest, relaxation, quiet, peace. Most important, relaxation. Now, I'll prescribe a mild sedative each night before sleeping.
He's so simple, so easy, so diabolical. And so considerate. No, Anne, darling, you mustn't even fetch your own bathwater.
There we are. Almost full. And nice and warm. Just like to relax in, just as the doctor ordered.
Oh, Eddie, I don't know why you do all this for me. I don't do half as much for you.
You do, darling, just by being. You know that, don't you?
No, I say it 100 times a day. Eddie, you're sweet.
All right, my dear. Now step in. I'll help you. Take care. The water may be hot, and the tub may be slippery. There we are, dear. That hot enough?
If you think so, darling. Oh, you're the sweetest. Oh, I wonder how I had the luck to marry you.
Part of my job, dear. Taking care of you. And one day soon we shall have a tub with taps. One of the new ones. You'll see. Ready to sit down, darling?
Mm-hmm.
Quite a pair of lovebirds, Anne and Eddie Jameson Jones. No wonder the poor fellow could hardly contain himself some 30 minutes later.
I went out for a minute to make the tea. Doctor, how could she go so quickly?
It is strange, but certainly an accident.
I barely turned my back, just put some water on in the tea kettle. And when I returned, there she was, floating face down in the water. Doctor, can't you help her?
Calm yourself, my boy. Your wife is past help now.
Such tragedy, such tears, and a will, by which Eddie came into something over 800 pounds. In 1910, that was a fair amount of money. Enough for a man to live on with his wife for quite some time, while he read Shakespeare aloud in a quiet garden.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Evelyn, how you stand for me for all my absences. I hardly know.
I suppose I love you, dear. You are nice. And you're a good provider.
Mm-hmm.
So until you come back, I'm always content to wait. Go on. Read some more, darling.
Yes. Yes, of course. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long will...
Nor shall death brag, the young man read aloud, but where were his thoughts? On his next trip? On the story he would invent? And which story? To which woman? His ever-faithful Evelyn, or young Libby, whom he took to wife some 2 months later?
So this is the bride, Mr. Jameson.
This is Mrs. Jameson. Isn't she lovely?
Oh, Eddie, stop it. We're only married a few hours, and you're embarrassing me already.
My deepest apologies, darling. Are our quarters ready?
Oh, they certainly are. I'll have my boy help you with the bags. It's not every night we have a bride and groom in this house, you know.
No, not every night. This promised to be eventful indeed, particularly if you knew Eddie Jameson Jones.
Oh, Mrs. Grundy.
Yes, Mr. Jameson?
I hate to bother you, but could we have enough hot water for a warm bath? My wife hasn't been well. Some kind of spell, almost a fit. Took her to a doctor yesterday.
Oh, dear. And so young she is.
Nothing serious. Just needs relaxation. That's what the doctor said. She insisted on going through with the wedding, even though I thought it might be better to postpone it. So a good warm bath. Nothing quite so relaxing, is there?
I'll set the fire going right away. You settle?
Oh, yes. Aria da capo. To repeat the theme. This time with a variation. And the variation was a bag of tomatoes.
Mr. Jameson, I didn't hear you go out.
I just ran out while my wife was in the tub. Picked up some tomatoes. Fried tomatoes are her favorite dish. And I thought, well, tonight or all nights, she ought to have them. If you don't mind fixing them, Mrs. Grundy.
It'll be a pleasure, Mr. Jameson. I'll have them ready with your dinner, never fear.
Libby, darling. I'm back. Libby! Libby, are you there? Good heavens. Mrs. Bundy, help! My wife! My wife is floating face down in the tub. She's dead! My wife is dead!
And today, you can see that same bathtub in the Black Museum.
In just a moment, we will continue with The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles. And now we continue with The Black Museum, starring Orson Welles.
Yes, the girl was dead, floating in the bathtub, face down, just as Anne before her. And Eddie, he was stricken, heartbroken as a bridegroom ought to be.
My poor Libby, to die alone like that on her wedding night. So good, so sweet, so eager for life, and so in love with me. Even insured her life for me just before we married, as if she had a premonition almost.
£750 insurance is a comfortable sum. Man and his wife can live in their garden quite decently with a sum like that for quite a few months in 1910. But it seems one can grow a trifle bored, even with a garden and Shakespeare.
How do you feel now, dear?
A slight headache, that's all. It'll go away.
Evelyn, you've got to go back to the doctor or find a new doctor. A slight headache, that's how your fit started yesterday.
No, he's not trying the same thing again. But he seems to be. Of course, he's had two quite successfully accidental deaths in his life so far. Perhaps a third? But that's not possible. Or is it?
Almost ready, Evelyn?
In a minute, dear.
Better come while the water's hot. You know what the doctor said about relaxing? Hurry now, darling. It's steaming, but not too hot. All ready, dear?
All right, dear. There's not that much hurry. Oh, dear. Who's that now?
Wait for me, darling. I'll help you get in. The tub may be slippery. One day we'll have a modern tub with taps and hot and cold running water. You'll see. Now, don't try to get in without me.
All right, dear. I'll wait for you.
Yes? Are you Edward Jones?
I am.
We're police officers from Scotland Yard. We have a warrant for your arrest. The charge is murder. I must warn you that anything you say will be taken down in writing and used in evidence. Please come quietly.
No, Evelyn Jones never took that bath. She never had another fit, either. Though she sat in the courtroom for the entire trial. The trial of the Crown versus Edward Jones, also known as Edward Jemison.
May it please your lordship, gentlemen of the jury, this is a peculiar case. No one saw this man commit the crime of which he stands accused. Yet every circumstance, every bit of evidence points to the fact that this man stands justly accused and deserves proper punishment. Now, in the course of this trial, you will hear many things about love, about coincidence, about accidental...
Oh, yes, they heard many things, that jury, sitting so stiff and serious-minded in its box. Not the least was the opening of the famous defense counsel who held the brief for Edward Jones, also known as Jemison.
nor will we deny that this man may have married bigamously, but he did love these poor women, and it was a far, far better thing he did in marrying them than to lead them astray and then leave them alone with remorse, as so many men have done before him. We deny that my client killed these poor women. We claim only that he was the victim of a set of circumstances and the interference of a busybody. Yes, a male busybody.
A male busybody? Well, perhaps. But how could a policeman, in the proper course of his duty, fail to check on so obvious a coincidence?
Yes, sir. We had a letter at Scotland Yard from a Mr. John Curtis.
What were the contents of that letter, Sergeant?
Mr. Curtis had noticed a brief announcement in the newspapers regarding the death of a young woman, a bride, by drowning in the bathtub. He wished to call our attention to a similar accident some time before. In both cases, the name was Jemison.
You saw this letter yourself?
I did.
Is this the same letter?
It is, sir.
I offer this letter in evidence, Your Lordship, as Crown Exhibit A.
It went on like that, slowly, carefully, plugging all the holes as they went along. The details of a routine police investigation which suddenly had become a little more than routine.
Sergeant Mason, when you visited the scene of the first drowning, what did you learn?
That the man known as Jemison had mentioned two wills. One by himself in favor of his wife, one by his wife in favor of himself. We checked the files of the probate court. The latter had been probated. We called on the lawyer involved. He had a copy of the other will. The man known as Jemison, the deceased, had quite a bit.
And when you visited the scene of the second drowning, Sergeant?
We learned that the man known as Jemison had mentioned an insurance policy in his own favor. We inquired of all the insurance companies and found the records. He had received some £750 following the death of the young woman.
The first point established. Motive. Money. Over 800 from Anne. 750 from Libby. Almost £2,000 in all. That's a substantial motive. The questioning of Sergeant Mason went on.
Now, in the matter of tracing this man Jameson, what did you do?
Just routine, sir. We checked the mailing address at the insurance company and found it to be the same as the house where the second woman had died. There, we discovered a forwarding address, a postal box. We covered that box. I watched it myself, sir. And when this man known as Jemison came to open it, I followed him. He went first to an antique shop, then to his home. Having located him, I made some quiet inquiries and learned that he was known as Edward Jones. Now, that evening, having communicated with Inspector Wilson at the yard and having received a proper warrant, we placed him under arrest.
Very good, Sergeant. Now then, when you called upon Edward Jones, what did you find?
The woman who claimed to be his proper wife was waiting upstairs, sir, for him to help her into a hot bath.
One further question, Sergeant. Is the man you arrested in this courtroom now?
Yes, sir. He is the prisoner in the dock, sir.
Thank you, Sergeant. Thank you very much.
Oh, they've been very thorough, all right. They had almost everything. They called Dr. Margetson, for instance.
Dr. Margetson, when you first saw Anne Jameson, what was her complaint?
That she'd been having fits and not remembering them.
Did she tell you this herself?
No, her husband did. He was quite insistent on it.
Did you find any symptoms of illness, sir?
I examined the woman very thoroughly. I found nothing. But that situation is not uncommon in certain types of epilepsy.
Now then, Doctor, when you were called to the house on the evening of June the 3rd last, what did you find?
The woman I had examined was floating face down in the warm bath and quite dead. The husband was extremely hysterical. I treated him for shock.
Did you sign this death certificate?
Yes, that's my signature.
What is certified as the cause of death?
Accidental drowning.
We offer this certificate in evidence as Crown...
They had the landlady who knew Libby Jemison, too. She testified, simply.
Oh, yes, sir. He moaned about the insurance policy. Cried all night, he did.
Bit by bit, piece by piece, motive, opportunity, proof of death by drowning, medical evidence. But one great piece of the puzzle remained, as the distinguished counsel for the defense asked.
Wormlud is the proof that these two regrettable deaths were anything more than coincidental accidents. Wormlud is the witness who saw my client hold these poor women under the water, or administer sedatives which caused them to faint in the water, or in any way contribute directly to their miserable death.
There was no witness. But there was a Scotland Yard inspector with a demonstrable theory.
If it please your lordship, 3 bathtubs have been entered in evidence as Crown Exhibits C, D, and E. Inspector Maurice Wilson of Scotland Yard has a theory which he wishes to demonstrate as a witness, and he requires the assistance of an expert. Milord...
The inspector took the stand, was sworn in. Then, to the amusement of the spectators, a young lady in bathing dress, testified to as an expert swimmer, was introduced into the proceedings. One of the tubs was filled with water, warm water. At this point, the prosecutor stated,
For the assurance of the court, we have a doctor in attendance. Now then, Inspector, if you please, you may leave the witness box and proceed with your demonstration.
Thank you, sir. It is our considered theory that the murders were committed as follows. You will remember that in each case, the prisoner reported he found his wife floating face down. It is reasonable to assume that had the women fainted while sitting or lying in the tubs, they would have been found floating face up. With this in mind, it occurred to us that with the prisoner's insistence on helping his wife into the tub, the procedure was something like this. May I, young lady?
Of course, Inspector.
Notice she is standing in the water. Now, prepare to sit down, please. Observe that she bends forward, grasps the side of the bathtub. I seize her ankles thus, and she falls forward on her face.
Doctor, please, Inspector, get her out of that tub. The girl's unconscious. Get her out before her lungs fill and she drowns.
Some hours later, the jury reported.
We have reached a verdict, my lord. We find the prisoner guilty of willful and premeditated murder.
Well, that same bathtub is where you'd expect to find it today. In the Black Museum.
Orson Welles will be back with you in just a moment. Now here in person is Orson Welles.
Eddie Jones, in spite of his common name, was an uncommon man. Some said he was quite mad. His own defense counsel stated later that when Eddie looked at him with his piercing stare, he felt as if the prisoner were trying to hypnotize him. This, of course, we'll never know. We can only wonder if those poor women were truly hypnotized by Eddie's eyes or merely by his charm and personality. In any case, one woman did not succumb to that charm for long. She was Eddie's real wife, the predecessor of Evelyn. This woman was swindled by Eddie, but found him out and sent him to prison for 2 years. Eddie swore to kill her. She fled to Canada when Eddie left prison that time. But she came back to England and was in the courts the day Eddie Jones was sentenced to hang. And now, until we meet next time, till we meet in the same place and I tell you another story about the Black Museum, I remain as always, obediently yours.
The Mutual Broadcasting System presents The Mysterious Traveler, written, produced, and directed by Robert A. Arthur and David Cogan, and starring tonight two of radio's foremost personalities, Leon Janney and Marilyn Erskine, in The Big Brain.
This is The Mysterious Traveler, inviting you to join me on another journey into the realm of the strange and the terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, that it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back, get a good grip on your nerves, and be comfortable, if you can, as you hear the story I call The Big Brain. My story begins in one of the manufacturing plants of the Worldwide Business Machines Corporation. In one wing of the plant is housed the huge laboratories of the company, where newly designed and experimental calculating machines are built and tested. It is evening, and the vast laboratory with its long rows of intricate-looking machines is deserted, except for a young university professor, Lester DeWitt. Tall, lanky, and in his early 30s, DeWitt stands before a massive machine that dwarfs all others in the laboratory. Swiftly, efficiently, he presses tabulating keys on the control board, oblivious of all else. 3.521 to the 8th digit, 74.3 to the 3rd digit, 74.56 to the 4th digit.
Is that you, Professor DeWitt?
Yes, Pop, I'm at the big brain. 6.527 to the 4th digit.
Now, you brought your visitor, Professor.
Visitor? Julia.
Well, I'm glad to see that you at least remember my name.
Of course, Professor, I'm not supposed to allow anyone in here but our engineers and university people like yourself. But I figured seeing you and hers engaged.
Thanks, Pop.
That's all right. Joy seeing young people get together.
Oh, Julia, I'm terribly sorry. I forgot completely. Were you waiting long?
Only a half hour. By then I realized I'd been stood up.
Oh, well, honestly, Julia, I had no idea it was so late. I decided to run a test at 5:30 and then be finished by 6:30 at the latest. And
You could only see your face.
So, and you aren't angry with me?
No, I'm not angry. I just have to accept you for what you are, an absent-minded professor. Well, so this is my arrival. I've never seen such a huge machine.
It weighs over 50 tons.
50 tons?
That's right. The staff here at the plant calls it the big brain.
It's the only one of its kind in the world, Julia.
Lester, those thousands of keys, levers, do you know what each one of them is for?
Why, yes, of course. Oh, look at it. Do you realize that the big brain can calculate elliptical integrals?
Was that good?
Good. Why, human mind has never been able to solve elliptical integrals. There have been no methods of solution, but this machine can.
Oh.
The big brain, Julia, can solve in a few seconds a problem that would take a scientist a lifetime to work out.
There's one thing your big brain can do, Professor.
Oh? What's that?
It can take this racing sheet and dope out the winners of tomorrow's races.
Oh. Still playing the horses, eh, Pop?
Yep. Not doing so good either. Well, I got to make me round. Nice talking to you, young folks.
Good night, Mr. Collins.
Good night, Pop.
Good night.
Oh, I really should be jealous of that machine, Les. A certain light appears in your eyes when you speak of it. Sometimes I think that you care more for that.
But you really don't believe that.
No, not really.
Hey, look, Pop left his racing paper behind.
What are you looking through it for?
Oh, I've never read a racing sheet before. It's interesting. Very interesting. You know, this racing sheet is a treasury of facts. Why, in each race alone, there are over 1,000 facts to be taken into consideration. Yes.
Now, Les, you aren't going to spend the rest of the night studying that paper, are you?
I had always been inclined to think that horse racing was a matter of sheer luck. That isn't so at all. Look at all the information that's available in this paper. I can't understand why Pop thought the big brain couldn't calculate the winners of these races.
You mean you think it could?
I see no reason why it shouldn't be able to. In view of all these facts we have on past performances.
Lester, you aren't serious, are you?
Of course I am. Would you like to try it as an experiment?
An experiment?
Yes. We'll put all these facts through the machine.
Oh, this I have to see, by all means.
All right. First, it's a matter of learning what all these abbreviations and symbols stand for. Then...
Yes?
It's merely a matter of your reading the facts on past performances and my feeding it to the machine.
Going away, $9.50. Flying Ghost.
Flying Ghost.
October 5th,
1949.
October 5th, 1949.
Belmont Park, 3-year-olds and up, claiming $5,000, a mile and an eighth, 120 pounds, jockey Riker, track fast, post position fourth, start sixth, quarter fourth, half fourth, 3/4 third, mile third, stretch third, finish third, 2 lengths, driving, $5.20.
$5.20.
That does it. 8 races. Now that you've given all the facts to the machine, what's next?
I pull this lever, and the calculator goes to work.
Good Lord. How long does it take?
Just a matter of seconds.
You really think it'll work?
Work? Of course. Unless the machine breaks down. And as you can see, it's working perfectly. The solution has been attained.
Well, where is it?
I merely have to pull this lever, and it will be printed on a sheet of paper and ejected at this point here. Watch. There.
Well, let me see it. First race winner, Yet a Deer. Place, Speeding Folly. Show, Quaker Girls. And it has the results of the other races as well.
Naturally.
And these horses are the winners?
Oh, yes, no question of that. Tomorrow night we'll buy an evening paper with the racing results, and you'll see for yourself.
Les.
Yes?
If you're so sure that these are the winners, why not make a small bet on the first race?
A small bet?
Yes. Bet $2 to win on Yet a Deer in the first race. Then if Yet a Deer wins, as you say she will, put all the winnings on the second race, then the third, fourth, fifth.
But I couldn't do that.
Why not?
Well, it wouldn't be ethical. I'm here from the university as a guest of this company.
Oh, now, let's stop being stuffy. We've been saving for a year now to get married. If the machine is right, we can win enough money to buy all our furniture. Who knows, maybe even a house.
Oh, I'm sorry, Julia, but I'm afraid I couldn't.
Oh, why are you so stubborn? Who could it possibly harm? And think of what it would mean to us.
But yes, I know. Pardon me. Where can I make a $2 wager?
Right here, friend. What's your pleasure?
My pleasure? Oh. Well, I'd like to bet on Yet a Deer in the first race at Hialeah.
$2?
Yes, please.
All right, here you are. Yet a Deer paid $6.20. Here you are.
Thank you. I'd now like to bet $6 to win on Morning Glory in the second race at Hialeah.
6 on the nose of Morning Glory.
That's right.
Okay, you're covered. Here he is, boss.
Come in, Professor DeWitt. Come in. I'm Victor King.
Oh. How do you know who I am?
It's my business to know the names of the people who patronize my establishment. All right, Steve, that'll be all.
Okay, boss. I'll be outside. Wait.
Well, I understand, Professor, that you selected the winners of 8 straight races. And that I owe you $24,250.
Yes, that's right.
You'll find that I'm a businessman who pays off promptly. $1,000 bills be all right?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Tell me, 8 winners. What do you attribute it to?
Oh, just luck.
Luck, huh? Here you are. $24,250. What's wrong? Lose something?
My wallet. I can't seem to find it.
Oh, yes. Your wallet. I have it here. Must have dropped it a little while ago in the racing room. One of my men found it and sent it over to me. Naturally, I had to go through it to find out who the owner was.
Yes, I suppose so.
Besides $17, there are a number of things in it. Driver's license, a state university faculty card, a pass for admittance to the technical laboratory of worldwide business machines, and this sheet of paper.
Oh, yes. That.
Very interesting, Professor. Has listed a selection of win, place, and shows for today's 8 races at Hialeah. Strangely enough, every horse in this list came in exactly as selected. How'd you explain that, Professor?
I don't have to explain it. Now, if you'll be so good as to return my wallet and everything that was in it...
I'm sorry, Professor, but I'm afraid you'll have to play ball. Whether you want to or not.
What do you mean?
Sit down, Professor, and I'll tell you. Sit down, Professor.
Yes.
That's it. Now we can really get down to business.
And then, Junior, he showed me pictures that had been taken of me in the racing room. Half a dozen of them. All showing me making bets.
Oh, no.
Yes. Why, he even had a camera hidden in the wall of his penthouse office, which filmed everything I said and did up in that penthouse.
What? He was just laying a trap for you.
Yes, he certainly was.
But you didn't tell him how you'd gotten the winners of the races today?
No, but I think he suspects. He found my wallet, and in it the pass to the laboratory of worldwide business machines. And he saw the sheet with the names of the winners printed on it.
And he demands that you give him the winners of every day's races?
Yes. It's blackmail. Pure and simple. He has all the evidence he needs.
But, Lester, if you were to go to the university officials, the president of Worldwide Business Machines...
It would be the end of my academic career. You know how the university is about such things. They'd regard my use of the big brain as dishonesty. Worse.
It's all my fault. It was I who made you bet on those horses.
Oh, no, nonsense, darling. If I really hadn't wanted to, you couldn't have made me.
What are you going to do?
What can I do? I've got to supply King with the winners. If I don't, he'll expose me. Ruin my career.
What about a cigar, Professor? Drink?
No.
I'm
thank you.
feeling good. Really good. 3 days in a row, all the winners at Hialeah. Yes, sir, I'm feeling good. By the way, I'm putting your share of the winnings aside, Professor. It now amounts to $46,000. You can have it any time you want.
I told you before, I don't want any part of that money. My purpose in coming here was to explain to you that I can no longer go on with it.
You can't go on with it. Why not?
How can I expect you to understand the matter of ethics?
Ethics? You can't. All I'm interested in is money. Now listen to me, Professor. You're going on supplying me with winners. We're playing this out to the finish.
The finish? When will that be?
I'll let you know. Now, today is Monday. I'm figuring on flying out to Santa Anita in a few days for the big handicap on Saturday. I want you to dope out the winners as soon as possible. I'm figuring on making a real killing at the track.
I won't do it.
Now, Professor, we don't have to go over that again. I see we do. Okay, Professor. I'll put it on the line. Straight, no trimming. Sit down. This may take a little time.
February 15th. 47 flights. A 22 flights. B 10 flights. C 9 flights. D 6 flights. Total 47.
Oh, Lester, so here you are. I've tried to find you everywhere.
Oh, hello, Julie.
I phoned you at home and the university. Then I thought I'd come here. Did you see Victor King?
Yes. I saw him.
Well, what did he say? I mean, when you told him you were through with him.
He said that isn't the way he plays ball. It seems I have to play his way. Or else.
Oh, Lester.
Mr. King is a master of blackmail.
Well, Lester, what are these hundreds of books? What are you doing?
These are flight records of the different airlines that fly to the West Coast. These records go back 5 years.
Well, what are you doing with them?
I'm entering these records into the big brain. Trying an experiment. I don't know whether or not it'll work.
What kind of an experiment?
I'm attempting to find out if the big brain, given all available flight information, can determine the date and time of a future plane crash.
A future plane crash?
Yes.
But why?
Victor King is going to fly to California within the next few days. As yet, he hasn't decided what flight he's taking.
Well, what has that got to do... Les.
Why not? What else can I fight back with? Maybe this whole experiment is crazy, but if the big brain can determine future plane crashes, and if one is due to occur within the next 5 days, I'm going to do my best to see to it that Victor King is on that plane.
Les, what you're doing is insane.
Maybe. Time will tell.
You must listen to me. You've got to go to the university officials and make a clean breast of things. I'm sure that they'll...
There. Solution has been attained.
Let me see it. Flight 106, Universal Airlines, 4:30 p.m. New York, Los Angeles. Crash 6:31 near Canton, Ohio, February 24th.
February 24th. That's this Friday. And King wants to be in California Saturday for the races.
Lester, this information, it can't be right, can it?
It's the law of averages, Julia. Scientists, given all the facts, can work out an approximation of accidents. The big brain has the ability to pinpoint facts, calculate them to a degree beyond the human mind, and reach a definite conclusion.
You mean there's no question about it? Flight 106 will crash February 24th.
The big brain hasn't been wrong as yet. So there's always a first time, of course.
But, Les, if there's a possibility of that plane crashing, we've got to go to the airline and warn them.
If I went to them and told them, gentlemen, I believe that Flight 106 on February 24th is going to crash, what do you think they would say? They'd have me placed under mental observation.
But, Les, if that plane crashes, killing innocent people, you'd never forgive yourself.
What's going to be, will be. I can't prevent that which is ordained to happen.
And you're going to try to see to it that Victor King is on Flight 106.
Yes. Come what may, I've got to make sure he's on that flight. Hello?
Hello, Professor. This is Victor King.
Yes, Mr. King.
It's already Wednesday afternoon. Why haven't I received the winners of Saturday's races at Santa Anita?
I'm afraid I can't have them for you until Friday afternoon, around 4.
Why not?
I've got to have last-minute scratches and other information to be able to calculate the winners.
Friday afternoon? It doesn't give me much time to get to Santa Anita.
Why don't I meet you at the airport Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock? There's a 4:30 plane to California. Flight 106. Get you there at midnight.
Flight 106, huh? Today's 4:30. That sounds all right.
Then I'll meet you at the airport at 4 o'clock.
Good. I'll be expecting you.
Don't worry, King. I'll be there. There's the gate for Flight 106 straight ahead.
Lester, I wish you wouldn't go through with it. Won't you please go to the airline? Tell them that there's a chance 106 may crash.
I told you, Julia, they'd only think I was insane. Now, be quiet. There's King standing at the gate with his bodyguard.
Well, Professor, you're getting it rather fine, aren't you? It's already 4:25. The plane's ready to leave.
I was delayed by traffic. Here's the list of winners for tomorrow's races.
Good. Walk me to the plane. I want to talk to you.
All right.
Hey. Big race tomorrow. Citation isn't the winner?
That's right.
Oh, this is perfect. Perfect. All the big money will be on citation. Will we clean up?
All passengers, please get aboard.
Sure thing, honey. Lester, I've got a little surprise for you and your girlfriend.
Surprise?
Yes, that's right. Me and Stevie are taking you with us. We're going to show you the time of your life.
Yes, sir. But But we can't go. I have classes.
What are you talking about? This is Friday. We'll have you back by Monday. Now get aboard.
But we haven't any clothes.
Yes, you have. I brought along clothes for both of you. Everything's been taken care of. You two are going, and we have to carry you, boy.
No, I won't go.
Look, I went to great trouble to fix up this trip, and you're going. Get her on that plane, Steve.
But can't you understand?
Stop! Please don't! I don't want to go! Let!
Tell him to put her down. Come back. Julia.
Okay, stewardess, they're going aboard. Tell the pilot we're all set. Let's go.
What time is it?
Julia, stop asking me the time every minute. I just told you.
What's the matter with you two? Don't you like flying? You've been sitting on the edge of your seats ever since we took off.
Yeah, you think they were going to a funeral instead of California. And the best time they ever had.
Les, I can't stand this much longer. You've got to tell them it's our only chance.
Tell them?
Yes.
Maybe you're right. King.
What is it, Professor?
Come a little closer. I've got something to tell you.
Sure. What is it?
This plane. It's going to crash at 6:31.
Crash? What are you talking about?
You heard me. The plane is going to crash.
I like that joke, but that's not funny.
It's not a joke, can't you see, but he's serious.
How do you know the plane is going to crash?
Same way I found out about the winners. The big brain.
If you aren't leveling with me, I'll... Yes, you are. You're scared, really scared. I'm getting scared, too. Why'd you let us in for this? You must have known before we got on this plane... Oh, I get it. You didn't figure on me taking you along.
Hey, boss, we got to do something.
I'll settle with you two later. Come on, Steve.
What are you going to do?
You'll see. Have the gun ready, Steve. I'll make the pilot set us down, but fast.
Yeah, sure.
Here's where we take over.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but passengers aren't allowed up here.
Steve.
A gun?
Yeah. Now listen, bright boy, you and your little playmate here are going to set this plane down, but fast.
What for?
Because I say so. Now don't argue. Land this plane.
Well, nearest airfield's 20 minutes away, and it can't...
Set it down now. This minute. Make an emergency landing.
You must be out of your mind.
Steve, count to 5. If he doesn't start putting down, give it to the co-pilot.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you're calling it. Chief, give me a reading.
Speed 240 mph. Altitude 4,500.
As we come over this mountain, there's a large field. We'll try to set down on it.
Roger.
Don't let us go, boss. We got to get down.
Oh, yeah. Come on, put this plane down.
If you want to take over, just say the word. Give me a reading, please.
Speed 255 mph. Altitude 2,000 feet.
It's getting dark fast. We better circle the field a couple of times.
That cycle just land.
Chief, give it to the passengers over the PA.
Roger. We are now preparing to land. Passengers are asked to remain calm. Please fasten all safety belts.
You guys better go back to your seats, fasten your belts. It's going to be a rough landing.
Yeah, but it's all the same to you. We'll stay right here where we can keep an eye on you.
Suit yourself. Don't mind if Pete and me strap ourselves in, do you?
Cut the cutter and land.
Give me a reading, Pete.
Speed 230 mph. Altitude 800 feet.
Flaps down.
Flat down.
Landing gear down.
Landing gear down.
Landing lights on.
Landing lights on.
Reading.
Speed 180 miles. Altitude 500 feet. Speed 145. Altitude 200 feet. Speed 135. 125. 115. 95. Down. 80. 70. Bob, there's a drainage ditch across the field. Take her up.
Too late. Hang on.
scared.
Just lie quietly, Les.
Julia. Julia, where am I?
You're in a hospital. You've been unconscious almost 3 hours. But the doctor says you'll be up in a few days.
Why? The plane crash. Yes. Julia, you all right?
I was just shaken up looking at you.
Oh. Inspector King. What about him?
King and his bodyguard, Steve, were killed.
Killed?
Yes. When the plane crashed, they were up front without safety belts.
Oh. Anybody else killed?
No, a half dozen were hurt, but they'll all live.
So King is dead.
Yes.
That means we're free, Julia. He was the only one who knew about the big brain. The way I was getting those women.
Yes, Les, we're free.
Strange. The big brain picked the women. But it was wrong about the plane crash.
Wrong?
Yes. After all, the only reason the plane crashed was because King forced the pilot to make an emergency landing.
You're overlooking just one fact, Les.
What?
The plane crashed at 6:31 p.m. The exact moment that the big brain said it would. How do you explain that, Professor?
Professor DeWitt had a good deal to ponder about while he recovered in the hospital. Would a plane crash have occurred if Victor King hadn't forced the pilot to make an emergency landing? Or was that the crash the big brain predicted? It's hard to say. But one thing is certain. Professor DeWitt, for some strange reason, has lost all scientific interest in the big brain. Oh, that reminds me of next week's story, The Dark Underworld. It's about a strange old man who lives half his life in this maze of sewers beneath the streets of Manhattan, and he discovers... Oh, you have to get off here. I'm sorry. I'm sure we'll meet again. I take this same train every week at this same time.
You have just heard The Mysterious Traveler, which is played by Maurice Tarplett. In the cast were Leon Janney, Marilyn Erskine, Santos Ortega, and John Martin. Original music was composed and played by Al Finelli. This is Bob Emmerich speaking. All characters in our story were fictitious, and any resemblance to the names of actual persons was purely coincidental. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Sunrise and sunset, promise and fulfillment, birth and death. The whole drama of life is written in the sands of time.
We present a new series of radio programs, The Clock.
Have you ever seen a ghost? I mean a real honest-to-goodness phantom, complete with translucent bedsheet and staring eyes, surrounded by a sickly greenish glow? Have you? Well, I've spent many a night in my niche above the sexton's bedroom window, watching the acres of tombstones in the graveyard below by the light of the silvery moon, checking off the witching hours without so much as even seeing a bony hand or chilling to the anguished wail of a tortured spirit. However, ghosts do exist for some people. Only to them it's known as retribution.
It's good to get out of the city, isn't it?
I'll say it is.
You don't know what these afternoons mean to me, Vera. You don't know how insufferable it is for me to see you only once a week. Vera.
Yes?
How long must this go on?
How long must what go on?
Seeing each other on the sly this way. It isn't fair to either of us.
Just what do you want me to do, George?
You can get a divorce. If you tell your husband how we feel about each other,
Do you think I'm out of my mind?
Is it too much to ask?
You're very attractive, George. The last 2 months with you have been interesting.
Interesting? Is that all it's meant to you?
You know, it's meant a lot more. After all, he does have money and a great deal of it.
Sometimes you frighten me, Vera.
Do I?
You're so cold-blooded. About us.
I'm afraid you don't completely understand me.
Perhaps I don't.
I hardly know my husband. We met 2 months ago and we were married inside of a week. Then, unfortunately, I met you.
Unfortunately? Is that how you feel?
Oh, Frank's unattractive. He's dull. But he's given me what I've always wanted. Beautiful clothes, home that other women envy. I could have been happy with Frank in a boring way if you hadn't come along.
Then I have made a difference.
Oh, a big difference, darling. I'm madly in love with you.
Oh, Vera.
What's your driving, darling?
Oh, Vera, we've got to do something. We can't go on this way.
That's what I've been thinking. Sooner or later, he'll get suspicious. And he'll divorce me. That won't be so good.
Why not?
Because he'd cut me off without a cent.
Oh, is that all you think of, money?
I also think of you. Very often. How nice it would be for us to see each other all the time. Not just a few hours each week.
Well, there's only one answer.
Yes. It's not what you imagine. Why stop here?
What do you mean? It's not what I imagine.
I've planned it very carefully, George. All I need is a little help.
Help? For what?
To kill my husband.
Oh, but Vera, you're out of your mind.
Am I? All right. Forget I ever mentioned it. If you're not man enough to face facts, it's just too bad.
But murder...
Oh, it's easy, I tell you. The way I've planned it's perfect. No one could possibly find out. It's so simple it makes me wonder why I didn't think of it before.
Oh, no, Vera. It's out of the question.
You won't even listen to what I have to say?
No.
Then turn round and let's go back.
But you're asking me to...
My husband's got money, George, and a great deal of money. We'll go away together, Paris, the tropics, just you and I. And we'll really live.
Live? With that on our conscience?
Conscience? You talk about a conscience. Your conscience doesn't bother you much when you see another man's wife.
Oh, you can be cruel when you want to be.
I know what I want, and I take it when I want it. Ought to realize that by now. I tell you, I've got a plan for the perfect murder. It can't miss. And we'll be absolutely safe. You can either listen to me or take me home for good.
What kind of plan do you have?
can't understand why you insisted on our driving upstate today, Vera. I was looking forward to having dinner in town.
But I know the most wonderful place, Frank. It's only a few miles from here. The city's been stuffy lately without you.
Oh. Did you miss me while I was away?
Like mad.
Sweet.
Now, keep your eye on the road, darling. We don't want any accidents. Make a right turn up there, dear.
But we're on the main highway now.
Follow my directions, darling, and we won't get lost.
You're the doctor. Vera, it's true we haven't been married very long, but I must say you haven't shown much interest in my past.
Do you have any deep, dark secrets?
Well, not exactly. It seems to me that a wife ought to be just a little interested in a husband's background and his family.
But you told me you hadn't any family.
As a matter of fact...
Frank?
Yeah?
Look at that poor man standing in the road waiting for a lift.
Oh, hitchhiker, apparently.
Oh, let's give him a break.
Oh, I don't usually like to pick up hitchhikers.
We can't pass him up. My conscience will be absolutely haunting if we do.
All right, all right. You certainly do have your whims. Like a lift, mister.
How far are you going?
Oh, just a few miles up the road.
Oh, well, a few miles will help.
You can get in the back.
Thanks, lady. I'm on my way to Albany. Haven't had too much luck on the road up to now.
Must be tiresome waiting for people to give you a lift.
Oh, I don't mind. I've been doing it for quite a while.
Sorry, we're not going much farther.
That's all right. I appreciate it anyway.
Oh, Frank.
What is it, dear?
Stop the car.
Stop? What for?
Look, I think I've made a terrible mistake.
What's the matter now?
I haven't been up this way in so long, I'm afraid I made you take the wrong way.
There's a farmhouse just behind those trees.
I'll go in and ask if we're on the right route to the New England Inn.
Never mind, dear. You stay where you are. I'll go.
Oh, be careful. There may be brambles.
I'll be all right.
Quick. Get into the front seat, George.
Oh, dear, I can't go through with it.
Are you turning chicken-hearted on me?
I've never even seen you before. How can I kill a man?
You'll either go through with this, or so help me, you'll never see me again. Don't you see how simple it is? We've checked everything thoroughly, haven't we?
Yes, but...
We know that farmhouse is deserted, and there's rarely any traffic on this road. No one in the world could possibly suspect...
He's coming back.
Start the car.
Vera...
If I knew how to drive, I'd do it myself. Start the car, you fool.
No one at home in that farmhouse. Hey, what's the idea?
Hit him.
Where are you going? Hey!
Vera.
He's lying on the road behind us. Back up.
What?
Back up over him. You've got to. Just make sure he's finished.
But I can't, Vera.
You idiot, you're ruining everything. Back up, do you hear? All right. Stop the car. Look at you. Oh, get out and start walking. Leave the rest to me. For heaven's sake, pull yourself together when you get back to town.
I'll try.
It's finished. The rest is easy. Aren't you glad now that you listened to me?
Mrs. Bascom?
Yes?
I'm Detective Haynes, Police Department.
Police?
I'm very sorry to trouble you this way. I know what a difficult time you're having, but there are one or two questions, routine.
I told everything to the motorcycle policeman when he found us.
Well, you were so hysterical at the time, he didn't quite understand you. That's why I'm here, to verify the facts.
We were driving north, and we were supposed to stop off for dinner at the New England Inn.
That's why you were on that side road, is that it?
Yes. Near the farmhouse. One of the tires blew out.
Yes, we found the nail.
My husband left the car to investigate. The flat was in the back. The car was on a hill. As he bent over behind the tire, the car crushed him to death.
What did you do when the car began to move?
I can't drive, but I pulled at the wheel, and the car slid into that ditch where it was found.
You touched absolutely nothing inside the car except the wheel?
I told you I couldn't drive, officer.
Yes, we know that, Mrs. Bascom. The circumstances made it necessary for us to investigate every aspect of the case. I guess the handbrake could have slipped. It's happened before.
Handbrake?
Well, we found the handbrake on, but not completely set. I'm afraid Mr. Bascom was a bit careless, and carelessness in an automobile is not very healthy.
If you have any more questions, please get them over with.
No. That's all I wanted to ask you, Mrs. Bascom. Well, I'll turn my report in and mark it accidental death.
Vera.
I told you not to come to the house so soon.
Oh, no one saw me, Vera. I just couldn't stay alone by myself. I had to have someone to talk to.
All right. Sit down and relax. You look terrible.
Vera, is everything all right?
Of course everything's all right. Could be better. The police have closed the case. They even felt sorry for me, the poor dears. They were sweet.
Well, then, we have nothing to worry about?
Nothing at all. It was perfect. No one in the world could suspect us.
I'll feel better after a while. I mean, give me a few days to straighten myself out. I'll be all right, Vera.
What you need is a drink.
Yes, I could stand one.
So could I. The funeral was a terrible bore. Thank goodness it's over. What do you have, George? Scotch or rye? George?
Scotch. It's snowing outside.
It started when I came in.
I like the suburbs very much. Let's live here, Vera, when we're married.
Anything you say, darling. Will you take it straight? George, I said, will you take it...
Vera.
What is it?
Vera. Come here.
What's the matter with you?
Out there. On the road.
What?
I saw him, Vera. Standing there. In the snow.
George, will you make sense? Who did you see?
Your husband, Vera. I saw your husband.
From the beginning of time, there have been those who tried to compare the human mind with some well-made machine. And perhaps it's true. For the workings of the intellect are as delicate and as intricate as any mechanism could possibly be. There is one essential difference, however. A machine has no conscience.
Get hold of yourself, you fool.
He was standing there, Vera. I swear I saw him.
Frank is dead and buried. There's no one on that road, and there wasn't before.
Your husband...
Oh, for heaven's sake, George, stop talking like a child. Your nerves are getting the better of you. You need a little rest.
You think it was my imagination?
If you'd just be calm for a moment, you could answer that question yourself.
Yes. Yes, you're right. I didn't see anything, really. Oh, I don't know what's happened to me, Vera. I feel confused, afraid.
What's there to be afraid of? A ghost?
Don't say that.
Oh, really? George, how can you be so ridiculous?
I'm going home.
Wait. You're in no condition to go home alone.
Oh, I'm all right now.
I'll drive into the city with you. We'll use Frank's car. What you need is a little relaxation. Your nerves are going back on you. Tell you what, we'll go somewhere. Some bar where we won't be recognized. I'll get my coat.
Vera.
Well, what now?
Nothing. Go ahead and get...
Want to sit in the booth?
I'd just as soon stand at the bar.
All right. I'll see you in just a minute.
Where are you going?
I've got to make a phone call. Frank's partner. What's the matter with you? Must you jump at everything I say?
Well, I Just as soon you wouldn't leave me for long, that's all.
Mama won't leave you, not if Mama can help it. Now snap out of it. Order me an old-fashioned.
What'll be, sir?
Oh, one old-fashioned, one straight rye.
One old-fashioned, one straight rye.
You've got quite a few people in here tonight, haven't you?
Yes, we always fill up about this time, sir. I haven't seen you in here before, have I?
No, I don't think you have.
Mister, you feel okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Why?
Well, you look kind of pale.
Oh, I had a cold for the past few days. It took a lot out of me.
Oh, what you need is a rock and rye. Let me fix one up for you.
No, a straight rye's fine.
Oh, I tell you, this can't be beat. I even take it myself when... Hey, what's eating you, mister?
That man at the end of the bar.
What man?
Tell him to go away. He's dead, I tell you. Tell him to go away.
Mister, for the love of Mike.
What's the matter, George?
Vera.
Is this guy your husband, lady?
He's all right. Just nervous, that's all.
I saw him again, Vera. I tell you, I saw him
George,
again.
for heaven's sake.
He was yelling about some guy at the end of the bar. There's nobody up there but a cashier.
Here. Thanks for your trouble.
Much obliged, lady.
Oh, Vera, I swear I saw him.
Shut up.
You better take him home, lady. He's in bad shape.
He's had too much to drink. Take my arm, George. Be quiet. You sure you're able to drive?
Yes, I can drive.
Well, that was a pretty mess, I must say.
You still don't believe I saw him?
Must be going out of your mind.
Maybe I am. Maybe that's what's happening to me. I don't know.
George.
Well?
Do you know the penalty in this state for murder?
What are you talking about?
Would you like to see us both get the chair?
Don't talk nonsense.
Just keep on acting the way you have been. That's all we need. Just keep on seeing things. I'll both end up in quick time.
Well, don't talk that way.
Maybe you're not worried about your own life, but I'm worried about mine. I planned this thing without a hitch. And now you're whining and slobbering our way right into the arms of the police.
But why don't you believe me, Vera? He was standing there. I'll stake my life on it. He was standing there watching.
And what else did he do? Rustle his wings and play a tune on his harp?
I can't make you realize.
That you've seen a ghost? Who do you think you're dealing with, a fool? Are you going nuts or me? Your imagination's running you ragged. You've lost your nerve and you're whimpering like a puppy.
Well, I'm only human. What do you expect me to say and do when...
When what?
Oh, let's not talk about it anymore, Vera.
But we're going to talk about it. This is serious. If I hadn't come back to that bar when I did, you might have said just a little too much. As it is, I'm scared stiff that bartender might get suspicious.
Oh, he won't remember us. We've never come to this part of town before.
You and I have got to come to an understanding, George.
What do you mean?
Either you learn to control yourself and act like a man, or I can't take the chance of seeing you again.
But you couldn't leave me now,
Couldn't
Vera.
I? You'd be surprised. When my own life is at stake, baby, I could do anything.
I'll be careful from now on, Vera. I promise I will. Only don't go away.
You've simply got to take hold of yourself and forget that Frank Bascom ever existed.
Oh, if I only could.
You can and you will.
Vera, let's get away.
Get away where?
Anywhere, even for a few days. Let's leave town. If I could only get out of town for a while, I know I'd be all right.
Maybe that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, suppose I drive back to my apartment and get some things, and then we can drive to your home and pick up what you need, and we'll leave.
You mean tonight?
I've got to get away, Vera. I can't stand here any longer. I'll go crazy if I do.
I picked a fine lover. What have you got running up and down your spine, jelly?
Vera, will you do as I ask?
It doesn't seem to be much choice.
I'll be all right in a day or two. You'll see. A different atmosphere, a different city. Look, we can drive south. Maybe make Miami if we try. It's only 2 days' drive if you keep at it.
Miami wouldn't be bad right now.
No one will know us there. We can swim and dance and pretend that nothing's happened. What do you say, Vera? How about it?
All right. But I don't see any reason to start at this hour.
We can stop over in Washington or someplace like that, but I've got to leave right now. I've got to, Vera.
Turn around and drive back to your apartment. We'll leave for Miami tonight.
You don't believe in ghosts? Well, neither did Vera and George until... But listen as the clock moves on.
I'll park over here and run upstairs. It'll only take me 5 minutes at the most.
You sure you don't want me to go up with you?
That isn't a good idea for the hotel clerk to see us together.
Oh, don't tell me you're getting smart at last.
Now that we've decided to leave, I feel 100% better, Vera. I'm beginning to feel like myself once more.
Keep up the good work. I'm liable to start liking you again. Hurry now.
Oh, I will.
Good evening, Mr. Bailey.
Good evening, Harry.
It sure is snowing, huh?
Yes.
There's a gentleman been asking for you. He's waiting upstairs. He's been waiting a long time.
What? What does he look like?
Oh, about this tall, thin, 45 maybe. Ah, there he is now, coming down the stairs. You want to...
No, it's him. I've got to get out of here.
Mr. Bailey!
George, what is it?
He's in there.
Who?
Frank.
Are you crazy?
The hotel clerk saw him, Vera. He's waiting for me upstairs.
Did you see him too?
No, but the clerk did. He told me he did.
How do you know it wasn't someone else? It could have been someone else, you know. A friend might have dropped in.
It was Frank, your husband. I know it was. But we'll get away. This time we'll make sure to get away.
George, you're driving too fast. The streets are slippery.
I'll get away from him if it's the last thing I do. Vera, look, behind us.
What?
There's a car back there. We're being followed. I can see him through the glass.
George, be careful. Slow down and let me out of here.
If this is it, I'm willing to face it. I'm tired of being hounded. We'll get away from him now or never.
You're doing 70, George, for heaven's sake.
70? I'll do 80. I'll fly if I have to. So help me out.
George, no! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Well, that's quite a mess. They were going pretty fast, officer. I was right behind them. They're both unrecognizable. I tried to reach them, but I couldn't. But I could see they were both dead.
Callahan, get hold of the morgue.
Right, sir.
Yeah, just one stupid driver after another. One of these days, some people will get it into their heads that a motor car is no tricycle.
The roads were slippery, and they were in a hurry.
Yeah, looks that way. Well, let's get the facts. You the only witness?
Yes.
I'll need you to testify.
Very well.
Better give me your name.
My name is Bascom.
Bascom? Yeah, it's funny.
What is?
I went into another case the other day. Guy in his car. His name was Bascom, too. Frank Bascom.
I know.
What do you mean you know?
Frank Bascom was my brother. My twin brother.
And that is the story of George and Vera as recorded by the clock. Yes, retribution can be a ghost, and a lively ghost at that. And its bony finger can be a substitute for justice.
The Clock will be heard again next week, same time, same station. It is written by Lawrence Klee and stars Hart Maguire as the Clock. In this program, you heard Nigel Lovell as George and Margaret Christensen as Vera. Others were John Tate as Detective Haynes, Don Crosby as Frank, and Gordon Glenwright as Bascom. The Clock, directed by John Saul, is a Grace Gibson radio production.